me blind. I'm a man. Can't you see? I do everything for you. But what good does it do? I ain't got you. I ain't got you. You don't know what it's like. Now, baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. You don't know what it's like. Now, baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you, the way I love you.
Oh, that's one of the better ones you've done.
That's Rockstar in the Lounge thing.
Wow, listen to the applause.
How's everybody feeling tonight?
Okay.
How's everybody feeling tonight?
Okay, now watch this. Let's do the jukebox real quick for him, real quick.
Let's go.
I'll start us off. Anything by Oasis.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you're not to do.
REM. Sorry.
Oh, life, life is bigger. It's bigger than you are not me. Leagues that I will go to.
Let's go landslide.
We're moving that thing all over the place.
I took my love and I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in a snow-covered hills where the landslide brought me down.
Keith says Taylor Swift for Dunaway.
No, 3 doors down. Do 3 doors down.
Oh, God. I took a walk around this world to ease my troubled mind. I left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time. I watched the world float to the dark side of the moon. I feel there's nothing I can do. Everybody, if I go crazy, will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll meet you by my side with my superhuman might.
Chili peppers.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels.
Britney Spears.
Lonely. Oh, God. I don't know the key of it. Gotta skip Britney. Skip Britney. What we got?
Pearl Jam.
Oh, God.
30 seconds.
30 seconds of Pearl Jam?
Yep.
I seem to recognize your face. All seem familiar, yeah. I can't seem to place it. But now here you are, and here I am.
That's Rockstar in the Lounge. That's our show. We're back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. God bless you. God bless America.
Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Call The Next Round now at 205-734-0923. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Man, we have got so much to get to today, including late night, early morning basketball that didn't go Alabama's way. What I think is a loser is out NFL game tonight. We've got the college bowl season that's back, and we'll wrap up National Signing Day. We'll try not to do all that in the opening segment. Also a jam-packed guest list that includes Roman Harper, Jalen Milroe, and Dan Orlovsky. Already we've talked to Terrion Arnold at breakfast this morning. You'll be able to get that on our video platforms throughout the day. Welcome in Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor. Ryan Brown has the next couple of days off. On the back row, we have Tyler, and we have Forrester, and we have Rockstar. Lunsford's got a couple of days off here, and Taylor Corn and Emily Grace handling everything out in the lobby in the command center. In fact, EG will come in and fill in for Brown for a couple of segments throughout the show today. Ready to go. Let's go basketball and put that to bed early on.
I made it to 41-40.
Yeah.
I tried to press through. You know, we were at Odie's for Odie's team trivia last night. Got to the house, watched the first half on the couch, and I was like, I can't make it. And I was like, this is going to be a hell of a game. So I missed the huge run in the second half from Arizona. And you could just tell Alabama really, to me, had their opportunity in the first half where both teams came out and they couldn't make shots.
Oh, 3 of 22 in the first half, 3 of 22.
Alabama started 3 of 19, missed 11 straight shots.
Yeah, and then they ended up on the night 8 of 43s. Now, already in the Twitter feed today, you've got things like Chad saying, can Nate teach this team how to play basketball and not just shoot threes every time down the floor? That's the system. That's the system. It got you the number 1 seed overall last year. It's won you a couple of SEC tournaments and a couple of SEC regular seasons. But when you can't throw it in the ocean like they did for a minute last night, 8 of 40, it becomes frustrating to watch.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But, you know, if you hit 5 more of those and you shoot basically 33% behind the arc, you win the game.
You win the game.
Yeah, I mean, to get off 43s, I don't know if that is good or bad. I can't remember the last time I saw a team that missed 32 shots behind the arc. But they had their opportunities. And what are 2 of the best offensive teams in all of college basketball? It looked like a mess early on.
Here's one takeaway from the game. And if you watched it like a lot of you Bama fans did, Alabama led the game for 21 minutes and 52 seconds. Arizona only led for 13-22, most of that at the end of the contest. And Arizona had a 41-40 lead at the half. But again, it goes back to this is not a physical Alabama team. The last couple of years, they've been physically they couldn't get pushed around. You couldn't push them around. Even the great Tennessee teams who play very physical, Alabama could battle with them. They didn't always beat them, but they would battle with them in close games.
You don't have anybody for the Ballo kid. I mean, way too physical with 16 and 12 last night, and just watching him.
You didn't have anybody for Edey.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I don't know if anybody does for Edey, but.
And then was it Cal Brenner or whoever for Creighton?
Yeah, but your point, I mean, look, I get it. This Alabama team, the way they are built, I'm trying to see who they remind me of. Maybe an Arizona team over the last couple of years where really it is just a bunch of athletes that like to shoot threes, and you're just not going to get a physical presence.
I think they've been physical, though, until this year. I thought they were physical the last few years.
Yeah, I'm talking about this particular team.
This team doesn't seem to have that in their DNA, and it's going to be tough in the SEC coming up because I think Auburn's physical, Tennessee's already physical. Kentucky is shooting a lot of threes now, but they're still physical. I mean, you'll get some physical play coming up in the league, but Arizona wins it. 87-74, cut 1 Rockstar. Nelson had 17. Sam Walters had a wonderful first half, 15. Didn't really get a lot of shots up. But it's a 3-game losing streak now. But Alabama also played 3 top 10 in the AP poll at the time they played them teams in a row here. Purdue, who's now number 1, was number 3. Creighton was number 8. They're now number 12. And Arizona, who was number 1, is now number 4 in back-to-back-to-back games. After you hear Nate Oats, I got a big question here. Here's Nate.
In these 3 games we just played 2, we got them all off, coming off a loss. Purdue comes off Northwestern, so they're going to be ready to play. Creighton's coming off a loss at UNLV, and they're ready to play. Arizona's coming off a loss to Purdue, they're ready to play. So, which I don't mind. I don't mind playing these non-conference games while they're playing their best basketball. Point is to get some quality wins. We didn't get them. It's also to get us ready for conference play. So we just got to use it as learning tools and get ready for conference play. I think losing exposes a lot. Losing exposes a lot about your character. How tough are your guys? Can they come back and continue to learn? So we just got to regather. We got 2 non-conference games before, we hit SEC play. We got a tough league, but I think we can compete for an SEC championship, and that's our goal right now.
I would tell you this, Lance. Usually this tough schedule, they get at least one good out-of-conference win, and they don't really have one great out-of-conference win. They don't really have one great out-of-conference win. You wanted to go 1-2 at least in this 3-game stretch. And my big question is, what does it do to your team confidence? Because you're 6-5 now, but you've played a really tough schedule. So can you pick up the swagger on these 2 gimme games before SEC play and go in with a little confidence to SEC play? Or do you end up being like the quarterback who's a rookie behind a bad offensive line in an expansion team and you're dodging ghosts the rest of the way?
I really think you can build off of this because, the bad news is you lost 3 consecutive games, but the good news is these are teams you'll see in regional finals. These are all 3 teams that have an opportunity to go to a Final Four this year. So you look at these games. Alabama led in these games. Alabama was right there. Outside of the slow start last night, they were in the Arizona game. How tough is the SEC going to be this year? Is it going to be as good as it has been?
I think it's going to be a six bid league.
You got to get some of these out of conference games, though.
I don't think you have to.
Well, so what do you got to go in conference then? To be 6-5 coming into this, and look, I know we deem these as quality losses.
Oh, they are really good quality losses because none were at home, and you had some games that were within the 10-point or 7-point margin,
and they're all quad ones.
They're going to help you.
That ain't going to change.
They're going to help you all the way. They'll be quad ones year long. And listen, Landmine Believer saying, Jim, Indiana State's 17 in the net. Don't buy the net this time of year. Go to KenPom. Follow KenPom there, and then that'll help you there. Indiana State will not help this team tremendously at the end of the year.
I did think Nate had some people would call it an excuse, and he kind of backed it up a little bit after he said it. But it is interesting that you get Purdue coming off a loss to Northwestern, Creighton gets demolished by UNLV, and then Arizona, in 3 years, they have never lost back-to-back games under Tommy Lloyd.
Yeah, great teams don't usually lose back-to-back games.
But that's hard to do in 3 years.
Yeah, but to his point is, Purdue got a wake-up call, and then they played Alabama. Creighton got a wake-up call, played Alabama. Arizona got a wake-up call. You just wish you'd have been at least one of those times the team that beat them before they got the wake-up call.
I think this Alabama team's good. I don't know how good.
Yeah, we'll see. They got to control their fouls first. You got to keep the big man on the floor late in some of these games here. But that's Alabama losing into the wee hours of the morning, 10 o'clock Central tip.
Did you make it the whole game?
I did. I took an afternoon nap that allowed me to wake up and do it. Really wasn't an afternoon nap. I set an alarm for 9:50 p.m. and I went to sleep at 8. And woke up.
Oh my God!
I can't believe out setting an alarm for 9:50 p.m.
Yeah, well, I did. I had to get him to watch the game.
You had to.
Yeah, and there was a lot of great basketball on, but I could feel myself falling asleep watching basketball in the quad box. And if you missed it last night, before LT tells us about Dr. B, this was a 14 parlay at MyBookie.ag, and this is the first time I've gone 0-4 on a parlay. You only need to lose one to lose your parlay, but I went 0-4.
And that's the way it usually works, is you lose one leg of the parlay.
Yeah. I had UConn against Seton Hall. Seton Hall beat UConn.
Yeah, you were talking about UConn yesterday, and boy, they got walked off. This Big East has been weird, though.
Yep.
I mean, Marquette lost their opener. UConn lost their opener. And who am I missing? Marquette, UConn, and Creighton.
Yep. I had Creighton handling Nova. It didn't happen. Villanova beat number 12 Creighton. I had Baylor handling Duke, neutral site game. Duke beat Baylor. And I had Oklahoma surprising North Carolina. It didn't happen. North Carolina beat Oklahoma 0-4.
Well, if you're going to lose them, you might lose that first leg and not get teased, right?
Yeah, that's right. I did make it up, though, with Arizona giving 7.5. MyBookie.ag. Tell us about Dr. B.
Dr. B, best in the business for more than 20 years. Women and men have turned to Dr. Beckenstein for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. Beckenstein today, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. T3hair.net for more information. Again, I do 3 non-invasive 30-minute treatments on the couch each and every week. That's all I'm doing right now. My hair is more than doubled in thickness since I went to see Dr. B. Make the call that I made, 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
And we always ask the question here, is Coke Zero the best Coke ever? It's a bold question, I know, but it's got that irresistible taste to back up that question, right? It's too bad you can't taste with your ears what we're enjoying on the show today with our friends at Coke Zero Sugar. A really amazing beverage right there. You'll have to take a taste for yourself this holiday season. Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Find out for yourself. National Signing Day yesterday. We'll talk different angles on this as we move throughout it. But Forrester, do you have a top 25, a top 30, or something like here? Here they are. This is from On3, which is the consensus of the consensus. Georgia 1, Alabama 2, Ohio State 3. Miami surges as the day goes on. One of the big stories at 4. Texas is 5, Oklahoma 6. And Auburn has the day Auburn fans were waiting for, and they're in at 7. Oklahoma 8, Notre Dame 9, LSU 10. Others of note, Tennessee 12 of the SEC, Clemson 13-ish, Texas A&M 14. Florida had a horrible day at 16. Michigan, 17. Not riding the wave a lot there. USC, 18. More on that later. Ole Miss, 19. South Carolina, 20. Nebraska had a nice day. They're 21. Texas Tech had a huge day. They're 22. Wisconsin, Missouri, 24. Kentucky, 25. That is your On3 consensus there.
Boy, it's been a bad few weeks for Florida State because you had your 2 top prospects flipped on signing day. And now the question is, Mike Norvell, does he have a closing problem?
Yeah, I saw that question being asked, and, I think it's perception. The breaking news this morning, it started to happen late last night and has been confirmed now, is that the Florida State folks have called an emergency board meeting for tomorrow morning where they're going to enact and give the okay for Florida State to start a legal action for the grant of Rite fees and start that legal battle that could free them up to one day leave the ACC. They don't have a landing spot right now.
That's my question. So you really want to be independent?
Yeah.
And here's what I would ask you. If Florida State was 13-0 in the Big Ten or the SEC, they would be in the college football playoff, no doubt about it.
No doubt about it, which is why they want to be part of it.
But guess what? If they wouldn't have won those games.
They wouldn't have been 13-0.
Yeah, I mean, and look, they played really well in September, but the way they were playing down the stretch, I mean, honestly, how many teams in the SEC would have beaten them in the last week of the season? Alabama, Georgia.
Oh, without Jordan Travis?
Yeah.
All of them.
Well, I wouldn't go all, but I mean, I was about to go 7 deep.
I'd go all of them.
So, look, you can get out of a conference that you ain't to deal with, and maybe it's not a great contract right now, but where in the hell are you going? And by the way, if you end up one of those destinations, so first of all, the SEC doesn't want you. They don't need you.
They don't yet. That's the easiest path for them. And we mentioned it yesterday, is that since the SEC is in with ESPN ABC, and the grant of rights that's held by the ACC is with ESPN ABC, that's the easiest path, that somehow ESPN brokers a deal on your behalf.
Okay, I get that. But the SEC, when you look at the footprint, obviously they don't need it. Can you imagine the Big Ten, though, would have from Piscataway to Washington to L.A. to a Florida footprint? So to me, it makes a little sense for the Big Ten if you are going to continue to expand.
It does. And later on in the show, Brett McMurphy with a nice little note on the 25 most watched teams this year, total television ratings on average. And it won't surprise you. I'll just put it that way. So Auburn's class, which everyone is talking about here locally, comes in with 2 great players in Cam Coleman and with Thompson as well, Perry Thompson, and a quarterback that Hugh Freeze loves in Walker White. In fact, he called him a true Auburn man and thinks he has the skill set to be a great quarterback. He's the young quarterback coming in this class. He's the guy that is probably going to keep Auburn from really jumping into the quarterback portal this time around. They believe in the future of Walker White. Maybe Peyton Thorne for one more year. Maybe Walker White comes in and wins that battle.
You know, the only thing I would say about this is you look at the experienced quarterbacks, this year, and Michael Penix, Bo Nix. I mean, that's not realistic with the extra COVID year. But this is the first time, like this decade, that true freshman quarterbacks can come in and play. And you heard Justin Hokanson yesterday talk about, there was an endorsement for Peyton Thorne not to get anybody in the portal, but it was also about this kid. And so you wonder how much is, okay, we think we know what Peyton Thorne, we've gotten him. But if this kid can come in and push Peyton Thorne and possibly even win the starting job, Hugh Freeze knows his quarterbacks. If I'm an Auburn fan, I'm not really comfortable thinking that Peyton Thorne's going to be the answer next year. But you got to trust Hugh Freeze right now.
Cut 3, Rockstar, and while you pull up Hugh Freeze here reacting to this class in the top 10, just to brag on the guests we have on this show, and Taylor, please clip this out and send this to Hokanson for me. Justin Hokanson came on our show at one point this football season or maybe back in the summer, and he said, I think this Auburn class will sneak into the top 10, maybe as high as 7 when it's all said and done, if everything falls right. By the way, Auburn sneaks into the top 10 right at number 7. Good call by you, Justin Hokanson. Here is the Auburn head coach on signing day.
I thought the effort that was put into trying to make our first class here a top 10 class, which was our goal. I don't know where we stand with that. I can't keep up with all of that, but that was our goal, is in year 1 to have a top 10 class, and then in year 2 to have a top 5 class. And that is the way I think you start building a program that is able to stack itself upon each other and create a competitiveness among the roster that drives you to chase a standard every day that's needed to win in this conference.
Well, I think what snuck them in the top 10 was the 2 flips, the 2 defensive ends from Florida.
Yeah, they were one of the torpedoes in the side of the Florida ship.
Yeah, it's been interesting times for Billy Napier, too. I mean, there was a time that we can remember that Florida was consistently in the top 5 in these recruiting classes.
Should be.
Yeah, so if you're a Florida fan, the expectation is, competing for SEC championships and ultimately winning championships. And you see how these first 2 years have gone, and now you see how National Signing Day went. And we know, is there a coach on a hotter seat coming into next year than Billy Napier? I don't think there is.
Nope. Hey, Georgia, by the way, number 1, the consensus. Alabama, number 2 on 24/7. They were number 2 on 3. Okay, so number 2 across the board, too. So 1-2 for Georgia and Alabama. Rockstar, give me Nick Saban cut 2. They're number 2 in the recruiting, right? And by Alabama standards, they get heavy on defensive backs because Terrion Arnold, who we've already talked to, it's on our platform, and Kool-Aid, and you got some people that are leaving, but they're going to need some corners. Heavy on DBs, but they basically sprinkled in talent everywhere on this roster. But Nick Saban gives you a very nonchalant answer yesterday about the signing class. Number 2, it's like business as usual. And Nick Saban off the practice field with a little we got other things we're worried about right now than this damn National Signing Day right here in the middle of our prep for Michigan. Listen to Coach Saban.
Our focus right now is on the game, right? We're trying to get ready for a game. And I know we got to recruit, and we're trying to recruit, and there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of guys in the portal. There's still some players out there that we're recruiting that we think are outstanding players. So we're continuing to try to do the best job that we can in every regard, from coaching our players standpoint to, trying to get quality players to come here. But the whole recruiting process, when we made an early signing date years ago, we said this would become the signing date. Well, it also just moved the recruiting calendar up like 6 months. All right, so players visit in the summertime. That's when most guys visit. I mean, we used to have tons of guys visiting in January. We'll have very few guys visiting in January. So the whole thing is kind of just pushed forward. So there's just a lot of things happening right now, all right, that take our time and focus and attention. Recruiting's important, the game's important, our team's important. And we're trying to, manage our time the best that we can to do a good job in all those areas so that we can finish.
Doesn't sound like a guy that had the number 2 overall recruiting class in the country.
But look, the priority is winning a championship, and you're right on the cusp of doing it again. And this is why people say, why would you rather have an NFL job? I mean, all the shit that is going on right now. Look, it's all positive stuff around the University of Alabama, man, but it's 24/7.
Yeah, can you imagine if they just spread this out like the NFL does? There's in the offseason, there's a big thing that happens in the NFL every month, and they don't overlap anything. If you just spread this stuff out.
It could be incredible. Yeah. And college football continues, and I know you're going to get to some ratings in a little bit, the ratings continue to go up. The revenue continues to go up. I'd love to have a portal day where guys – not only announce they're in the portal, but where they're going.
Yeah, or just even like 2 weeks, and it only happens at 2 weeks, and nothing else is going on.
Nothing
else. Like it could be in March.
Yeah, because to me,
it could be in January after the playoffs.
There are some people that absolutely look. Recruiting is a billion-dollar industry. There are people that listen and watch us that absolutely love it. I know we don't get into it, but I can get more into the portal because I've seen these guys play.
Yeah,
or a good majority of them.
Chase P says, looking at Bama's support staff, think they got enough people to manage. They do. They got a whole recruiting staff that handles recruiting. But Nick Saban did spend a lot of time the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, you got to be in that living room,
jumping on the jet from Chattanooga to San Diego.
And, look, I know he can do a lot of prep when he's in the air. But still, man, there's a lot of obligations going on.
Different ways we'll talk recruiting throughout the show on just some big picture things. We won't bog you down on all the details, just the big picture stuff as we move throughout the show today. Roman Harper's on the other side. Show being brought to you by a couple of great sponsors. One of them, our friends at Legacy. LegacyCreditUnion.com this holiday season. If you want to jump on that Legacy credit card, rates as low as 8.9% APR, annual percentage rate, no annual fees, no balance transfer fees or anything like that. It makes shopping both safe and convenient. You can apply online in minutes at LegacyCreditUnion.com. By the way, the APR is the annual percentage rate. Rates and offers subject to change. See the website for details. Also, they got the personal loans as well there with flexible terms and easy payback plans there. You can get that at LegacyCreditUnion.com as well, federally insured by the NCUA. And also by the University of Montevallo. Wonderful institution right there in central Alabama. I went to school there. My daughter's going to graduate from there. Montevallo.edu. Schedule an in-person tour. Some really cool things there. Like if your kid wants to be a teacher, great opportunity for them. Great business school, theater department, music department, and also athletics. If they have loved playing sports in high school and think they want to continue to do that in college, check out the University of Montevallo. Don't be afraid to take a tour and go meet the coaches. They love that. Montevallo.edu. When we come back, Roman Harper on the games coming up in the SEC this bowl season, including the big one at the Rose Bowl for Alabama and Michigan. Harper coming up on the other side.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Hey, Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Do you want to help pay for my kids' college and look great while you're doing it? You need to go to the Next Round store. Everything from hats to short sleeve and long sleeve t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, and much more. And we're adding new things all the time. Why would you not want to see my kids get a great college education and look great out in the public while you're doing it? Get the gear we wear all the time on the show, and there's only one place to get it. NextRound.store. That's NextRound.store. It's time to start thinking about employee holiday gifts. Consider getting your hardworking guys a pair of Redwing Boots. Each day, your employees are on the job site helping your company succeed, so reward them with comfort at its best. The Redwing mobile shoe truck can visit your shop and fit your employees with a great selection of boots. Or Redwing gift cards can be purchased at your local Redwing store, available in all amounts. Whichever program you choose, your employees will appreciate the quality, service, and selection from Redwing shoes, and they'll also be thankful they have such a great boss. Reward your employees this holiday season with Redwing shoes.
Sunbelt champion Troy meets Duke in the 76 Birmingham Bowl on December 23rd at Protective Stadium. Tickets are on sale now, starting at just $30. The pregame festivities kick off December 22nd at the Bud Light Fan Fest Pep Rally in Uptown with live music, team pep rallies, and everything else you need to get in the game day spirit. This season, fill your holidays with good cheer. Get tickets and more information at birminghambowl.com.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com. Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears, because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, best Coke ever?
Roman Harper scheduled to be with us in a second. If you want to hang around and watch LT squirm a little bit, next segment, we're going to talk about his Rams in what is virtually a playoff game, it feels like tonight. A really good Thursday night game coming up in the National Football League. Show being brought to you in part today by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag, promo code next round. You can, and they'll bring you Roman Harper in a second as well. mybookie.ag. If you've been waiting for the right time to get into the action, how about the bowl season? How about the playoffs? How about college basketball? How about the NBA going? You can do all that right now. Just sign up at MyBookie, use the promo code next round, and get your deposit match and any other good stuff right there. Promo code is next round to claim your bonuses and experience the thrill of sports betting right from the comfort of your home. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Promo code next round. It's a lot of fun. Little T and I have been having a blast with our parlays over there. Also by our friends at A+, the great company that helped you and Brownie redesign your bathroom.
Yeah, look, I'd been wanting to get the master bath redone, and Brown started talking about our friend Brad Bell with A+ Tile Home Remodeling. So Brad came out, gave me that estimate. Isn't one of those one-day bath remodel places. Brad's estimate is actually less expensive, higher quality than those places. A completely redone bathroom with custom features and real tile. Plus, financing options are available, so stop looking at your old, ugly tile shower. Find A+ Tile Home Remodeling on Facebook to see some beautifully finished bathrooms. You can call Brad today. Call or text him 205-422-1758. That is his personal cell phone. It's the number I called. Absolutely loving the new master bathroom. Call today, 205-422-1758. It is our friends at A+ Tile Home Remodeling.
Rob says John Morant back in the Forum tonight for the first home game back. The joint will be jumping. Actually talked to Terrion Arnold in our interview that's in the chat there that Tyler has put up for you with an easy link. I actually mentioned John Morant in the interview to Terrion Arnold, so you can go check that out there.
I mean, one obviously elite player changes the landscape completely in the NBA. And you just look at this is a Memphis team that is 1-11 at home this year. And now you're hosting a really good team in the Indiana Pacers, and guess what? Memphis is favored. So that shows you the impact of Morant.
Hey, Michigan yesterday received the NCAA notice of allegation for recruiting violations. A level 1 violation for allegedly not cooperating with or misleading the NCAA investigators were leveled against Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. This is the most serious of the violations. And you're saying, is this about the signal stealing? No, this is all the way back to 2020 pandemic recruiting is where this all started. And you may think to yourself, hasn't he already served a 3-game suspension? He did. But that was back, when he was talking about it was over a hamburger. Michigan fans were talking about it was over a hamburger.
But it was also self-imposed.
It was self-imposed, and the NCAA did not sanction that self-imposed. They said they were going to dole out their own penalty, saying it's about a lot more than a hamburger. So this is the next step in that. It's a long process by rule of the NCAA, which is voted on by the members. Michigan's got 90 days to respond, and then the NCAA then has 60 days to give their ruling on this. So basically, what is that, 5 months?
You correct me if I'm wrong here. Jim Harbaugh has not signed this extension yet, right?
He is not.
Yeah.
He is not.
There are a lot of people that believe this could be Jim Harbaugh's last game in Michigan.
Could be, or the championship could be, if they are able
to
beat Alabama.
I mean,
whenever the season is done, that he is going to go somewhere else. He'll be a hot topic again in the National Football League. And if he signs again with Michigan, according to reports, he's got a clause in there that is supposed to say he's going to stop flirting with the NFL. But once a flirt, always a flirt, I believe, right?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I live by it.
You live by that?
Once a flirt, always a flirt.
Yeah, it just seems like...
You've seen Rocky out in the Wild, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Saw it last night.
How I got the name Rockstar. I just... The national discussion about this, and the internet's a cesspool, I know that. But you start reading comments about this coming down at this timing, and people are actually saying, this is the NCAA and the SEC trying to take the air out of Michigan, leading into the Alabama game, trying to favor Alabama to get them to the championship game. This has nothing to do with Alabama. This is the slow wills of an NCAA investigation. It's been that way my entire life. This isn't about trying to clip Michigan at the knees before the playoffs.
Yeah, look, in Michigan, they're not even looking at this right now. Their attorneys will be digging into it. And, much like Nick Saban said, our priority right now is a game we've got coming up in the Rose Bowl. I mean, the same for Jim Harbaugh. And they're really, and I know Alabama fans probably disagree with this, Nick Saban would disagree with this, there is zero pressure on this Alabama team. Obviously, they want to win another national championship. But as people have stated, this is the Alabama Invitational. There is so much pressure on Jim Harbaugh. He wins this game, Michigan fans are through the roof. He loses this game, it becomes the Ryan Day narrative. 7 straight postseason losses. A guy that has never won in a college football playoff. So, all these wins against Ohio State and these Big Ten championships are great, but what have you done with it?
What have you done with it? Hey, by the way, National Signing Day yesterday did have some interesting things happen. You had a recruit that rolled in with a new car, Forrester. Is that right? Let me see if I can get his name here. I may need Forrester's mic here if I don't find it. You got a mic here? Check this out. Look at this, LT. Who is that, Forrester?
Name is, I think it's Deion Smith.
Yeah, Deion Smith. Deion Smith. Ole Miss commitment. He picks Ole Miss. He's dressed nicely, but look what he rolls up in. His brand new Lamborghini, the old Lambo.
Because that's what you need as an 18-year-old, right?
Listen,
I don't even think, I don't remember, and I'm sure there's plenty of them, guys signing their first NFL contract rolling up in a Lambo.
Listen, I don't want that car on a college campus.
Oh, I'd be nervous. Can you imagine getting that thing booted?
Or just imagine in Oxford. I mean,
bottoming out on a speed bump?
Yes. And listen, the one thing, what's the speed limit there? What was Archie's and Eli's number?
Was it 16?
14, 18. I know Eli was like 10. So you can't even drive fast on campus. Tyler says, R.I.P. that Lambo. Jason, damn. Jay Price says, obviously a lease.
Yeah. I mean, what would the insurance be on that?
18 is the miles per hour. Yeah. That's crazy. Chris, LSU fans, Jimbo needs to get in front of a camera and start talking about Lane buying recruits, every one of them right there. You never know. He may have just borrowed it for effect, from a local Lambo dealer and has to give it back afterwards, but that's insane. Kevin said, didn't Jordan Addison roll into USC in a Lamborghini that was a rental?
Okay, so again, the culture problem that is USC, we probably don't want to use them as an example.
You don't want to duplicate
and Jordan
that.
Addison did not nearly have the season that he had the year before.
All right, no Harp right here. He has not popped up yet, so we may not have Harp today. We'll catch up with him again at another time unless he pops up here in the next few seconds. As we move on, I will tell you part of the show today is being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Things are not flowing right, running right, or draining right. You call the folks at Hemp Hill, LT.
Yes, Hemp Hill Services, 205-229-2090. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for plumbing, heating, and cooling. You get that $69 tune-up right now when you call Adam, Chad, Andrew, and you tell them the next round sent you. 205-229-2090 or Hemp Hill Services.
Alabama, we talked about them in the opening segment. They lose last night in basketball, 87-74. Really sad basketball rival. It's a great rivalry. Sad where it is right now. Kentucky and Louisville play tonight at the Yum Center in Louisville, and it's just one team is on the up, and the other one's not in Louisville, and it'll be tough to watch Kenny Payne do the battle tonight for Louisville against Kentucky.
Yeah, 14.5-point favorites. I mean, you covered that rivalry back in the day, and it used to be, look, it's still a great rivalry, but where Louisville basketball has fallen.
It has fallen a lot. A couple other things from signing day, and we'll talk the NFL in the next segment. Big game happening tonight. I showed you the Lambeau there. What is really bad, and you mentioned this, LT, is Billy Napier, who is a really good X's and O's coach by reputation, but he even had a better reputation as a recruiter. From the Saban and Dabo family of recruiting, he was a great recruiter when he was on those staffs, and he did a really good job of bringing talent into Louisiana at Lafayette. Now he's at Florida, where he should be able to drive a Lambo in the recruiting world, the Florida Gators. And at one point, his class rated in the top 4 in the country. It does not end up there. Compare him to, who was it? It was Dan Mullen, who everyone said Dan Mullen doesn't like to recruit, right?
That was the word.
And that's why Billy Napier is at Florida, because Dan Mullen didn't like to recruit. Billy Napier eats it for breakfast, loves recruiting. Here's the comparison. Mark Ryan tweets this out. Dan Mullen, reputation, doesn't like to recruit, versus Billy Napier, reputation, recruiting whiz kid. Dan Mullen, in 2018, number 14 class. Billy Napier's first year, number 18. That's behind Mullen. 2019, Mullen number 9. Same year for Billy Napier, 13th. Once again behind Mullen. 2020, Mullen number 9. Same year, number 15. Then next year was a number 12. We'll see if Napier gets another year. Average class for Napier right now, 15th in the country. Average class for Dan Mullen, who didn't like to recruit, rumored, number 11. And you see who tweeted down at the bottom? Dan Mullen. I wish I'd had the facilities that they have right now.
Oh, wow. Nice little shot there. And more importantly, going into year 3, Dan Mullen in 2020 played for the SEC championship and had arguably a top 5 team that year. That's going to be the most important thing for Billy Napier. And by the way, that didn't save Dan Lanning. Didn't save Dan Mullen.
It did not. And that Mullen team, that was the toughest game Alabama played all year, I thought. Right?
I would agree with you.
That team was good enough to possibly win a national championship. I thought that was interesting, the comparison there, especially when you get somebody who is perceived not to like recruiting. And then there's Deion Sanders. Things not going well for Deion. I don't know where he ended up. I'll check. But
he did get the top offensive lineman coming out, though.
He didn't sign.
Oh, did he? Well,
has he signed?
He hadn't signed, but I still think it's between Maryland and Colorado, and everybody said he's still going to go to Colorado.
5-star offensive tackle Jordan Seaton sent this tweet out last night. It's a cartoon character of a guy sweating it out, making a tough choice.
Yeah, I guess he's probably not 100% then.
And apparently Maryland and Oregon are in the mix. He's an IMG guy, and he's having some second thoughts. At least the last I checked this morning, I don't think he had signed yet. So we'll see if he ends up at Oregon or Maryland. He's the biggest recruit for Deion. But at one point yesterday, you showed me, where was Deion, Forrester? Like his team was around 99th in recruiting. that right there on signing day without the 5-star commitment there. 1 5-star, 3 4 stars, 2 3 stars, and only 6 commitments. And I'll do a quick check here at 24/7. But you gotta wonder if Deion likes to recruit. I mean, he's obviously going to try to do a lot in the portal, but you got to have some success, right?
It's a grind, and I find it hard to believe. Look, I think Deion loves winning, and obviously loves the exposure, but the behind-the-scenes grind that recruiting is, is one of the things that we talked about when he took this job.
I'm going down. I'm at 70, 74, 77.
Just give me the neighborhood they're in, where they're bookend by.
I've passed Arkansas State and Western Kentucky.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. I got them at 98 today. They're right ahead of South Alabama and right behind Eastern Michigan.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yep. And as they said here today, they've got 6 commitments, 98th in the country. Now, Deion's going to go get it in the portal.
Well, I think that's where he'll have his most success.
Yeah.
You just wonder if you can live by that model. I remember when Bill Snyder took Kansas State from the worst Power 5 program to, arguably one of the more consistent top 25 programs out there. He did it through JUCOs, and he was able to continue that year after year, just bringing in these juniors after 2 years at a lot of those JUCOs in the state of Kansas. So you wonder if Deion can build momentum just out of the portal.
Yep. So you got Deion who, how is he going to continue to build it? Obviously, the portal is going to be best for him. That looks to be the way he's approaching it. You've got Billy Napier, who had a bad day with all the flips. I think the final total on Florida was they did get their 5-star quarterback DJ Lagway, but they had 6 top 150 recruits when November was ending that ended up signing somewhere else yesterday. So their class went from 4 down to down, where they ended up at 16.
I mean, losing guys on National Signing Day that flip and you think you've locked that in, and not just to lose one, to lose multiple guys.
2 of those to Auburn, as you pointed out. As Jeff says, Hugh Freeze killed it. And Hugh Freeze play calling and Hugh Freeze recruiting is why Auburn fans were excited when they hired him down at Auburn. Show being brought to you in part today by our friends with Adams Beverage, who are reminding you this holiday season to be responsible when you drink. The first thing that we always try to tell you, you can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. So we encourage all of our friends, all of our viewers and listeners to join the pledge to Decide to Ride. DecideToRide.com is the website, DecideToRide.com. This message to be responsible when you're drinking this holiday season is brought to you by our friends at Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Adams Beverage, and all of us here at the Next Round, wishing you a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. We do have a show tomorrow. There is a good chance it'll be Taylor Korn and me up here having sort of a holiday special. We'll have some fun with you guys tomorrow, 9 to 12, as LT and Brownie lead me into the holiday weekend. And looking forward to that. And then next week, of course, we'll have a couple of shows right after Christmas on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're off to Vegas and Pasadena. Looking forward to that all coming up here in the next
and
few
hopefully
days.
I will have the Vegas details, because I know there's some listeners and viewers that are going to hit Vegas before they go to Los Angeles. And hopefully we'll have the details on the sports book that we will be broadcasting from next Friday morning.
Yeah, it should be fun. Should be fun. A little NFL conversation when we come back. It's a huge game. I know not all of you love a Thursday night NFL game, but now this one's got meaning on both sides. It's not one of those games where one team needs it more than the other. It's virtually a playoff game. We'll talk about that coming up on the other side right here on the Next Round, which is brought to you today by our friends at Hydra Live LT. It's time to get juiced up at Hydra Live.
Yeah, right now, IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, it's all under one roof. They're open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you can't make it to one of the great locations, guess what? A Hydra Live nurse can come to your place of business or home. Go to HydraLiveTherapy.com for more information. Very important that you mention Next Round at checkout. You're going to get 20% off any of these great services from our friends at Hydra Live. You can also follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Hydra Live Therapy. Again, make sure you mention Next Round at checkout. Get 20% off any of these great services.
Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Looking for the perfect gift for everyone on your Christmas list? This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store, and I invite you to do your Christmas shopping at the New Balance Birmingham store. Everyone needs new shoes this time of year, and they'll want stylish shoes that fit perfectly. At New Balance Birmingham, you'll find the largest selection and inventory for a specialty shoe store. We have every size from extra wide to extra narrow. Shop the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar. Best Coke ever?
Are you ready to make this holiday season one to remember? Legacy Credit Union is here to make your dreams come true with their lifestyle loans. Whether you need a little extra cash for gifts or you want to take that unforgettable holiday vacation, Legacy has the right loan for you. With affordable monthly payments, flexible terms, and absolutely no collateral required, Legacy Credit Union is your trusted partner for your stress-free holiday season. Apply in minutes. Go to LegacyCreditUnion.com to get the financial support you need to enjoy the holidays to the fullest. Again, LegacyCreditUnion.com.
Restrictions apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by the NCAA. What would happen if Santa came down your chimney and discovered fire damage in your home? What if he came down the chimney and discovered a wet floor? Santa's elves can't clean it up. You would have a lot of unhappy children Christmas morning. If that happens, contact Drytech Water Restoration immediately and make sure your children have a Merry Christmas. Drytech can clean up the mess and get in touch with your insurance company. Call Drytech 205-637-0143 and make sure your holidays are safe and happy. Happy holidays to all from Drytech Water Restoration.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
Back with you on the Next Round on this, what day is this? December
21st. I messed up our celebrity birthdays yesterday. I had multiple celebrity birthdays that were the 21st, not the 20th. So Samuel Jackson is actually 75 today.
He actually reached out to me. He accepts your apology.
Okay, good.
Before we jump in and LT tells us again about our friends at Hemphill, you want to feel old? We feel old for a variety of different reasons. But for you guys yesterday, 3 signees. You mentioned this yesterday, LT, and we showed when he made his verbal back in the day. But Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. Committed to Alabama as a cornerback.
Yep.
So that one already settled in with us here. But how about Willis McGahee IV, edge rusher, son of Willis McGahee III, signed with Nebraska yesterday. Remember Willis McGahee?
Oh, yeah. I mean, one of the was it not one of the great tackles? I mean, they ultimately lost the game, but remember it was a pick or a fumble return. Did he not blow his knee making the tackle?
He did get hurt. He got the ball back, right? It was like either a fumbled
I don't
interception.
know about that.
They did. They got the ball back on the play, I think.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think he just saved the touchdown, and ultimately they lost in overtime on one of the worst calls ever.
Maybe the craziest one, though, is Kennedy Urlacher, Brian's son, signed with Notre Dame
I saw that. And only a 3-star. I mean, the only thing that really jumped out was the name.
Yeah, 3-star safety.
But people forget, Urlacher was a late bloomer. So I don't even know if he had a star coming out when he went to New Mexico. And I remember watching him before when we had the what was it called? It was called ESPN Game Plan.
Yes.
And it would show you the games that were going to be on. And I remember watching New Mexico, and it was never in high def, and watching Urlacher. I think he was number 11 back then, did absolutely everything. He returned punts. They would line him up offensively sometimes. He was a dominant linebacker, but he was one of those guys that really didn't jump until like his junior year.
Marquell says Maurice Clarett took the ball back after an interception.
Okay.
IO.
Maybe that's who I was talking about.
So it was Clarett who made the play. Yeah, it was a Miami interception, and Clarett got the ball back. For
so maybe Clarett actually did save the game. That was it.
Yeah. So pretty neat deal there to see some of the old guys. Daniel says, didn't Brian Urlacher play safety before he moved to linebacker? I don't know.
Yeah, in New Mexico, yeah.
He did in New Mexico. Okay. Very good. Let's talk about the NFL after you tell us about our friends at Hemp Hill, LT.
$59 tune-up right now when you call Adam, Chad, Andrew, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services, 205-229-2090. It's hard to stop a train for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. HempHillServices.com, 205-229-2090.
Jalen Milroe scheduled to be with us at the top of the hour. He was in the car with Darion Arnold earlier, so hopefully we'll catch Jay Mill at the top of the hour. Our friends at Coca-Cola and Piggly Wiggly reminding you that we're trying to help feed families this holiday season, and you can donate at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide pre-packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donation of $1, $5, $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbham.com, thepigbham.com, or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season. Tonight at 7:15 on Prime, Saints and Rams at SoFi. Both are 7-7, and both teams are hot coming into the game, it seems like.
Well, right now the Rams own the tiebreaker, said they would be in, but obviously this game means everything. And I saw the analytics today. If the Rams win, they go up to 78% their chances of getting in the postseason. If they lose, it drops all the way to 17%. So this is a must-win at home for the Rams. This number opened at 4. It went to 4.5. It has dropped to 3.5. It's a Rams team that has won 4 of their last 5. They've scored 28-plus in 3 consecutive games. And when I look at the Saints, I think they've only got one, what I would deem a quality win of their 7, and that was at Indianapolis with a backup quarterback. But I'm scared to death that the Rams are going to lose this game.
I understand why you are, because it's a playoff game. It's virtually a playoff game. So I would understand.
I mean, to go from 78% if you win the game to 17% if you don't, it's a playoff game.
Yeah, so I would tell you this, though. Your offense, since the bye, averaging 30 points a game. So all of a sudden, Matt Stafford and that offense is really starting to click. That's an up note for you.
Well, so Cooper Kupp, I mean, there's a couple of keys here. The offensive line has played out of their minds. Cooper Kupp is finally playing like Cooper Kupp did in 2021 coming off the injury. Puka Nacua, one of the best blocking wide receivers in the game right now, has been unbelievable. And a lot of people don't realize that Kyron Williams, yards per game, leads the NFL. He's averaging 95 rushing yards per game. So people don't realize that's opening up play action for Matt Stafford, who's playing at another level right now as well.
For New Orleans, they're coming off 2 wins as well, but they were just against Carolina and the Giants, and both of those at home.
But over those 2 wins, 5 touchdowns, only 1 pick for Derek Carr. So Derek Carr has played well in those games.
Olave has been a little banged up for them. He's a go tonight.
Yep.
He's a go tonight. And they got another good receiver, Rashid somebody. So they've been pretty good at throwing the football last couple of games. Your biggest threat tonight is that I'm cheering for the Rams because I need the Saints to lose for my Buccaneers. Give me a little cushion.
Well, as long as you don't lay the 3.5.
Oh, so as long as I don't bet on it.
Yeah, you can pull for them all you want.
I'll be cheering for the Rams.
You pull for
tonight.
Alabama, and it hadn't affected their run.
That's true. For years and years and years and years. I need.
And I hate these postseason games. I've said this. I'd love to do a poll. Maybe Little T can do this. Do you like watching your favorite NFL team in prime time or regular Sunday games? Sunday 3:25 for me is the absolute best time. Not 3:05, 3:25.
I would tell you that this is the game I like my team on the very least. This Thursday night game I like even less than the Sunday morning London game.
No. Sunday morning London's the worst. Then I would go Sunday night, then Monday night. Thursday's not as bad, especially because I'm taking tomorrow off.
I hate the Thursday, and I hate this broadcast. I'm not Al Michaels and Herb Street. I love Herb Street in college, and I think he does a really good job with the NFL. But now that I know they don't get along, that bothers me. And
does it make you uncomfortable?
It does. It does.
But people realize how much you and I hate each other off the air.
I know.
We were able to push through on this.
But we don't say condescending things to each other.
Oh, never. Never.
Oh, you're taking the day off tomorrow?
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah. I'm going to come in and work tomorrow.
Yeah. I got here at 7. What time did you get here?
Yeah.
8:15?
You got to go to College Game Day Saturday. Where is it? Pullman, Washington? That's what you get from Al Michaels.
Yeah, I don't like the primetime games, but a lot of people absolutely love them.
That guy says the weirdest stuff happens on Thursday night games.
Yeah, I'm just, Jay's saying just have to keep Aaron Donald at bay. Aaron Donald's not 100%. The groin is still bothering him. So 99 took a lot of plays off last week, which he typically doesn't, and they were able to hold on against the Commanders. Not a good team. But it's going to be about 99 and those guys getting pressure on Derek Carr.
Ross likes it when his team plays Sunday night football. I find myself watching, and that's usually the best game of the week, and I find myself watching the second half of that. I don't watch the whole game. Richard, pulling for the Saints, but this is a typical spot they crap the bed in.
Well, I can only hope that they crap the bed here. Another thing I'm nervous about it being on Amazon Prime. And our friends Steve and Patty Powers are in town. And last year when we went to the Floribama in December, I had to get Steve to find me a place to watch Amazon Prime, the broadcast, because not all the sports bars had it. So we found, interestingly enough, an Irish pub owned by Russians down there was the place that I watched the Rams and the Raiders last year. So Peloton kicked me off today. My internet is completely out of whack at the house. I got to figure this out in the new year. So I'm scared to death about trying to put the game on tonight. So I'm going to try it at 4, 5, 6, make sure it's working all the way up to kick. If it's not, then I'm just going to have to run somewhere and watch it. You let me borrow one of your levels of the house?
I would tell you this, LT, that once the game starts, it slows down, the streaming does, just because so many people are watching on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, but I can't risk, if it's not working going into the game, I've got to go somewhere and be stationary.
To me, if your internet is shaky for this game, go somewhere else, because to me, I've got great fiber internet, and then once the game starts, it lags at times anyway, not on my end.
Are y'all going to be at home tonight, or can I borrow one of your rooms?
We are at home tonight. Oh. We're 4 strong tonight, but you're always welcome to come over.
Nah, you guys don't want me there.
Yeah, it's small.
You've watched the Rams game with me before, right?
It's a small place, I'll tell you that. Jalen Milroe scheduled to be on the other side. The show being brought to you by a couple of great folks. One of them, our friends at Bromberg's this holiday season. Tell us about our friends at Bromberg's.
Holidays are here. A lot of people are going to be popping the question whether it's during the holidays or when the new year rolls in. And your diamond specialists, they are Bromberg. Stop in 2 locations, Mountain Brook and the Summit. You can always shop online if you're bored at work right now. Check out their vast selection of great holiday ideas. Go to Brombergs.com. Nothing like giving or getting that silver box from our friends at Bromberg.
And also from our friends at Coca-Cola. Coke Zero Sugar, the best Coke ever? Bold question, but you got to find out for yourself. Taste it when you get the chance this holiday season. Wherever you get your Coca-Cola products, Coke Zero, really amazing. Taste it for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, is it the best Coke ever? Jalen Milroe scheduled to be with us next.
The NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah and Ryan Brown. DJ Football Weekly at Disrupt the Media on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide free packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
Ryan Brown here for the next round with a question for you. Are you on the bandwagon yet? Bandwagon wants to invite you to one of their 3 retail locations in Birmingham for all your holiday shopping. Bandwagon has the top brands in sporting goods, athleisure, and lifestyle apparel. You can check your entire family off the list at Bandwagon with brands like Task, Bird Dog, and Varley, plus the best in sports equipment. Visit the Bandwagon locations in Cahaba Heights, Homewood, and Trustville, or online, bandwagonsports.com. Next round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon. Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Our friends at Mortgage Rite have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Rite's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgagerite.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Looking for the perfect gift for everyone on your Christmas list? This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store, and I invite you to do your Christmas shopping at the New Balance Birmingham store. Everyone needs new shoes this time of year, and they'll want stylish shoes that fit perfectly. At New Balance Birmingham, you'll find the largest selection and inventory for a specialty shoe store. We have every size from extra wide to extra narrow. Shop the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the next round hosts a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, presented by Redmont Vodka. LT has in-depth conversations with personalities like Clay Travis and Taylor Hicks. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple and Spotify. And remember to like and subscribe.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hey, we had fun talking with Terry on Arnold before the show. Part of the reason it was so much fun was Jay Mill and Caleb Downs was in the car. We're about to talk to Jalen Milroe here.
Who was driving, by the way? Did we get that? Was it an Uber, maybe?
I don't know who was driving. Maybe
because they were all 3 loaded up in the back, and we never even asked him who was driving.
Yeah, maybe none of our business. Alabama basketball drops one last night to Arizona, number 4 team in the country, 87-74. They've lost 3 straight to AP top 10 teams. Eastern Kentucky on Saturday, and then they'll get into SEC play. Jalen Milroe joins the show here to talk to us about Alabama, Michigan, and such coming up when he joins us here in just a second. We look forward to talking to the Alabama quarterback, and he is with us now, brought to you by our friends at Craneworks. Man, you're still eating? We caught you earlier coming back from breakfast. Now, was that an ice cream sundae? What were you eating there?
I was eating a parfait, but yeah, I gotta keep eating.
How many calories? I mean, your size and how much you lift and work out and all that. How much calories do you think you bring in a day?
I ain't even estimated. I don't even know how much. I don't even know how much calories I take in.
Hey, I wish I was that way. I wish I didn't have to worry about
just
that.
Enjoy your metabolism. It will run out one day, but enjoy it right now. So yesterday, National Signing Day, it has changed so much with the windows and the transfer portal and everything else involved in the early signing. What do you remember most about National Signing Day for you?
Well, I was in the recruiting process at a different time. I was during the COVID time. So, like, you weren't able to visit schools. You weren't able to do anything. You was just able to just do Zoom meetings and try to call coaches throughout the week whenever they have time available to call. So my recruiting process was different. You know, I didn't get to, come to campus and go to this campus and try to experience, what their culture was about or go to any games, So like my junior year and senior year, it was off of just the knowledge of the program and just what, as I try to do research and try to figure out the program. So I would say, like, people in high school now had it better than when I was in high school, for sure.
Jalen Milroe is with us, presented by Craneworks, Rental Works, and Waste Works. The big guy says rent from the big dog, and also This is one of the guys that created Link, the T-shirt you see everywhere. And as we mentioned with Terrion, and we will with Jay Mill here, available now at the Soup Store on campus. And I'm telling you, everyone around the country is sort of pointing to you two, saying this is how the NIL was designed to work. You guys created something and watched the business grow. Has that side of this season been fun too, to sort of be entrepreneurs?
Oh yeah, for sure. With Lank, initially it just was, for our team to really just, understand what took place this offseason and what took place for our season. What honestly just pushed us to where we're at right now, with naysayer, with doubt. There's a lot of contributor factors to, what pushed us, in the offseason. But, now that Lank's carrying on to different people, and now it's been useful through the season, and now that, our fans can wear it, anyone can wear it. So it's been great to just see the evolution of, how the Lank brand has, took place these last couple of months.
A lot of people would like to know, what room are you in there? Is that the quarterback room, the work room, the film room for you guys? Where are you in the building right now?
I call this my office. This is the quarterback room.
It's the quarterback room because is that a B Young? Is that Bryce on the wall behind you there?
Yeah, that's BY. Yeah. That's
yeah. So I guess one day you'll be up on the wall.
Hey,
there.
What is your favorite part about that facility?
Favorite part of the facility, I had to say the training room. Training room has all kind of resources, but like in the back, we have this water bed we can just lay down, and you go to, and then you got this water bed that through this the system whatever moves water up and down this bed. So you just lay back and just chill. So I say the training room. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, so we got a water bed. What else do you have? Do you guys have one of those smoothie setups? And do you have barber shops?
We got a barbershop. We got a smoothie bar. We got all kind of stuff. Anything you need is at the facility.
Yeah. So that waterbed area, that's just a place you can go relax, take a nap, de-stress and all that. That sounds fantastic. That's good.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No.
Yeah. I was never a big waterbed guy, though. Never liked it.
Hey, so you've seen some, as you guys get ready for this Rose Bowl, you just are coming off probably the best defense you've seen all year in Georgia. Are there similarities between the Michigan and the Georgia defenses?
I think they're different defenses. I think Georgia was more complex than Michigan is, but I think when we compare physicality, I think that's where you can compare them. They're both physical. I think Michigan has a veteran defense who's been playing together for a long time. So I think that's something that allowed them to be successful. It's just how well they play together. And then they, there's a multitude of things that they do on defense kind of differently than Georgia. But when it comes to competing, when it comes to physicality, when it comes to them being undefeated, there's a reason why they were undefeated, So that's where they can compare. But they're both good teams.
How are you health-wise right now? I mean, it was a long season. You took some hits along the way. Everybody does. But now you had a couple of weeks off. Do you feel refreshed?
Oh, yeah. I think, these last couple of weeks just having off has been very useful for me and then also the team, because playing in SEC is hard. You get banged up. You have to play a physical game every single week. So to have this time off, is definitely much appreciated. And, now that we're at this point, I'm feeling way better than I was during the season.
Yeah.
Look, everybody wants to take time off during the holidays, but this is a business holiday for you guys. What is the schedule going to be like for Christmas?
So I'll be able to go home for Christmas and get to see my family. But then we got to head back and then travel to California.
Did you see where we got your mom and dad on with Charles Barkley? Have you seen that video yet?
Yes, yeah. Yes, I did see that, man. That was special. I love that a lot. My dad really enjoyed it. He's still talking about it to this day.
The funny thing is, before Barkley slid in, your dad kind of was hyping Jordan a little bit.
He was.
Yeah. Yeah, so that does show me. Anybody that was like, this thing was set up, no, if you watch the video, Mr. Milroe was kind of leaning Jordan over Barkley.
Yeah. I was set up.
Yeah. He was like, Jordan's 1, Barkley's 2. And we were like, well, let's bring in Charles Barkley. It was good. He seems to be I've seen you guys a couple of times afterwards, and in my marriage with my wife doesn't cry. She does not cry. She has emotions, but she is straight and narrow. I'm the one that cries, and I get emotional. Like if the kids just say something nice to me, I'll get all teary-eyed. In a commercial, I'll get all teary-eyed. Your dad seems like he's a very heartfelt, emotional guy.
No, it's funny because like when you see my dad, everyone is scared of him. They see him as a stern, strong guy. You know what I'm saying? But I really know my dad. He has a heart, and so he gets very emotional when it comes to people he loves.
Yeah,
I see that like touches him whenever he sees someone he loves, chasing their dreams or achieving all that they wanted to achieve. That makes him emotional. And then that goes for me, and it goes for my siblings. That goes from family member, his siblings. So, it's my dad. People don't get to see like his heart. You know what I'm saying? They just see him, just tall man. That looks mad all the time.
Okay, you were in the car earlier when we threw a list at Terrion. So LT wants to ask you a few questions too before we wrap up here. Is that okay?
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, so let's start it right there. Who is the best basketball player on the Alabama team?
The best basketball player, I say Spooty or Antonio Kite. He the best basketball player on the team.
Oh wow! Do you think Terrion would take that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Terrion thinks he is. I'm sure, right?
Well, he was trying to tell us too when we were talking run support against Michigan. He was like, "I hit harder than Caleb Downs." If I asked you, Caleb Downs or Terrion, who can bring it harder?
Well, what Terrion was pretty much trying to say is that he sees the field differently than Caleb, so Caleb has a running momentum coming downhill to get the hit. So I understand what Terrion talking about.
Let me ask you this. And so if you are out in the open field and you have to take a full-on flush hit from one of the two, who would you rather be hit by?
Well, Terrion lighter, so I'll definitely run through Terrion.
That's what I was going to ask you. If I was on the field, would I want to run and be hit by Caleb or Terrion, or would I want to have to tackle you? I feel like you're going to deliver a bigger hit on me than either one of them, right?
Then Terrion my best friend, so I love to compete against my best friend. So I'll choose Terrion any day.
Okay, so most famous person in your phone, that kind of tripped Terrion up.
Most famous person in my phone. I don't got one on the top of my head. Like,
oh, you've got every quarterback from Alabama in your phone, right? You got half the starting East Coast in the NFL.
All the quarterbacks on my phone.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Best uniform in all of sports, not an Alabama uniform though. Best uniform, doesn't matter. NBA, NFL, college football. What is it?
Oregon. Oregon definitely has the best uniform.
Which one?
Yeah, you like the way they switch them up?
Yeah, like, you can't choose which one. Like, I would say, like, when I used to play NCAA growing up, I used to choose Oregon because they uniforms. Forget about the team. I just like the uniform.
Okay, what is a great hype movie for you? Like if you want, like a movie that you're going to watch night before the game that kind of motivates you.
Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans is a good one. One of the common answers we get when we ask people over the years, Gladiator is one, and then that, what was it, 3,000 or 300?
300.
300.
Have you ever seen Gladiator?
No, I ain't never seen that.
You need to check it out. Have you ever seen Man on Fire with Denzel?
No, I ain't never seen that one either.
You ought to suggest that to the team the night before Michigan.
Really? Okay.
Or actually, if you guys do beat Michigan, I know Saban doesn't want anybody looking ahead, but the revenge you could get on Texas if you play Texas, Man on Fire is the way to go.
That's a good call before the Texas game. If that happened, that would be good.
Yeah, so I'll let it go with this. If you had to pay to see one athlete in any sport, who would it be?
LeBron.
Yeah, that's what Terrion said earlier. Say it again. I'm interrupting you. Start over.
Let me take that back. I'll say Jordan because I grew up watching LeBron. Like he's my era of basketball. So, people try to draw this comparison between Michael Jordan and LeBron with who's the GOAT. I would love to see Michael Jordan play and, experience his eras, experience how he played, his physicality, his mental toughness. Like I want to see all that. So I'll say Jordan.
No, that's a great answer. Like, I would like to go back and watch Babe Ruth play baseball because everybody talked about how great he was, but it was such a different generation.
I feel like I'd be disappointed if I went back and saw some of those guys.
And it's all
play.
black and white. Like, I don't even know what the dude looked like.
That's a good call on Jordan, though. And, hey, could you imagine Jordan today with the NIL? I mean, he was cutting edge on sponsorships. If he was sitting there, I mean, you guys are selling a lot of length shirts. How many would Jordan have sold back in the day? Yeah. Well, man, thank you so much for your time today, and Merry Christmas to you. Tell that to your mom and dad. We appreciate everything they've done with us throughout the year. And safe travels. We'll see you out in Pasadena and Los Angeles, okay?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Yeah, same to you. That is Jalen Milroe, Alabama quarterback, presented by our friends at Crane Works, Rental Works, and Waste Works. The big guys say rent from the big dog there, and our friends right there at Crane Works. That's a good answer about Michael Jordan because he knows how much his dad likes him. He'd like to go back and relate with his dad, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we continue on. More college football coming up here in the show. We just told you a little bit about Crane Works. LT, tell us about our friends right there at Odie's, where was it trivia last night?
It was trivia last night. The question, Dunaway, what came first? You're going to know one answer to this because I just brought it up for the second day in a row. Samuel L. Jackson or the Kraft single?
I'm going to feel like Samuel L. Jackson is older than the Kraft single. That seems like, I mean, my goodness, it feels like I've been alive at some point where I've had to slice off of a big block of cheese, my cheese for a sandwich. I think the Kraft single came in my lifetime.
It did not.
Okay.
But Samuel L. Jackson, 1948, the Kraft single, 1950. So
okay.
Samuel L. is just a couple of years older than the Kraft single. These are little things you learn at Odie's Team Trivia. We do it every Wednesday night at the original location in Crestline. 2 locations for you now, though. The newest in Homewood on the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Incredible food from Rodney Davis. Ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Live music on Fridays and Saturdays. Check it out. Birmingham Institution, Odie's Tavern.
All right. Appreciate our friends there at Odie's and also our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Get in shape. You just heard Jalen Milroe, which is just a slap to any of us that are over 40, right? And your metabolism slows down a little bit. We caught him in the car with Terrion earlier today in our interview with Terrion Arnold. They were coming back from a restaurant where they had breakfast and they had to go pancakes and biscuits and all the good stuff that goes there. And the first thing he does when he gets to the quarterback room, he's eating, a parfait. A little sweet on top of whatever he had for breakfast there. Just churning out the calories before he
Elephant pancakes for breakfast.
Yeah, it was a good look. Go watch our Terrion Arnold interview. It's up on all our platforms. Anyway, all that great food, you got to manage it somehow, especially as you get older, because it can impact your blood pressure and your cholesterol. Way to Wellness has a plan that can help you eat better, lose some weight, get those numbers in check as well. Leslie and her board certified team ready to go for you. Just go to their website at planforme.com, planforme.com. You'll find out they got a plan specifically designed for each individual, whatever your goal is. There's no contract, there's no sign-up fees, and the first consultation's free. A lot of next round folks go by there and they say, it was neat to meet Leslie and the team. And I didn't have to pay anything to get my first consultation. I learned about it and decided I liked it or didn't like it. It's that easy. Planforme.com. Give yourself a gift this holiday season for 2024. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. All right. I just assume now cameras are rolling all the time, no matter where you are, especially if you're a college football coach giving a post-game speech. Dave Doorn.
This is so dumb.
Dave Doorn.
You can't say shit anymore. Well, literally, he couldn't say shit.
Well, this was but he was calling them.
Yeah, I know, but it was the heat of the moment.
Okay, Dave Doorn, if you missed the story, on camera, caught by the ACC network. I don't know when it finally leaked out, but it became a story yesterday when Mack Brown responded to it. But Dave Doorn says, hey, it's been 1,460 days since those pieces of shit have beat us, talking about Carolina after they beat them in the rivalry game. That was in the NC State locker room after the game, talking to the team. There happened to be cameras there who caught it, and the video leaked out. Mack Brown, who I assume hasn't had an opportunity to comment on that until yesterday, gets an opportunity and gets asked about, his team, his players being called pieces of shit by the NC State head coach. Here is Mack Brown.
In our last ball game with a rival school, after the game, the head coach of that school called our players a piece of shit. And I apologize for that language, but I've never heard something like that before, and I'm disappointed. I thought it was classless. It's not true. Number one, we didn't play well in the game. We didn't coach well in the game. That's been very well documented, and I got that. But you don't call kids a piece of shit. They've won a Coastal Division. They've won a bunch of games. They've been to an Orange Bowl, been to 5 straight bowls. They represent us well. And from me speaking for them and their parents, they really didn't appreciate being called a piece of shit.
I don't think he meant it in the literal sense. Look, it's not the classiest thing to say. I'll give him that, but it's the heat of the moment. You're hyping your team up. If he would have said, it's been that long since we beat those son of a bitches, doesn't mean they're all sons of bitches. We hadn't beat these bastards in that long. They're not all bastards. I just, boy, we're just a super sensitive society. Can't say anything without it getting dissected. Now the next thing we'll know is Dave Doorn will have to walk it back and he'll have to apologize.
He already did. He said he called Mack the Wednesday after the video came out, and maybe it was yesterday. I don't know when the video came out, and said he apologized, was heat of the moment, all the things you just said.
I mean, we're just in a different world right now. What happened to the old sticks and stones can break my bones? Do they even sing that anymore? I remember like in first grade, that was like a big thing.
Wasn't it Bear Bryant who called Auburn the Cow College? I think it was.
I think that's right, but,
yeah,
you know.
I guess that's different than piece of S.
Oh,
right?
Shit.
But, hey, if he would have said those mother truckers, you know, we haven't beaten them, does that mean they bang a bunch of moms?
I don't know. It's
Again, he didn't mean it in a literal sense. He was in the heat of the moment. He was hyping his team up, who, by the way, won.
Rivalry opportunity for Mack there to try to make the other school look bad on National Signing Day is what that's about. Posturing for things down the road that maybe helps Mack get a big win at some point. When we come back, Rockstar has our 4 downs today. Show being brought to you in part by our friends at the Pants Store. The Pants Store is still a place that you can swing by there and get a great gift this holiday season for the Alabama and Auburn fan in your life. And listen, for Bama, you Bama fans out there, you're back in the playoffs. You may need some stuff for the trip out to L.A. and Pasadena. The Pants Store has all your Bama needs. Guys can choose from the polos, the quarter zips, the hats, sweatshirts, and Bama accessories. The ladies got the game day tops and bottoms and rompers and booties and clear bags, all for the Rose Bowl trip. And they got stuff for the kids as well. Remember, they've got free gift wrapping and free alterations as well. 6 locations in Leeds, Hoover, Crestline, Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, and Auburn, and anywhere, pantstore.com, pantstore.com. When we come back, Rockstar's 4 downs and a lot more as Emily Grace joins the show. Dan Orlovsky talking about the NFL week, scheduled to be with us at 11-ish today, right here on The Next Round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
This hour brought to you by Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear, the perfect place for all your holiday shopping. We are easy to find just off of I-65, exit 304 in Coleman. Just look for the big red building.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
This holiday season, help feed families in need by donating at your local Piggly Wiggly. With your donation, Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola will provide free packaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Look to make your donations of $1, $5, or $10 at the register inside your local Piggly Wiggly. Visit thepigbham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for the location nearest you. Enjoy the real magic of the season.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. It's our friends at Hydra Live Therapy. IV therapy treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, and boost your immune system, and more. If you mention the Next Round at checkout, save 20% off any service. You can join the IV League today. Members are rewarded with deep discounts. Make sure you ask about that. Hydra Life Therapy open 7 days a week. Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone.
Sunbelt champion Troy meets Duke in the 76 Birmingham Bowl on December 23rd at Protective Stadium. Tickets are on sale now, starting at just $30. The pregame festivities kick off December 22nd at the Bud Light Fan Fest Pep Rally at Uptown with live music, team pep rallies, and everything else you need to get in the game day spirit. This season, fill your holidays with good cheer. Get tickets and more information at birminghambowl.com.
Emily Grace McWhorter in with us. Taylor Corn out there handling everything social media, and everyone else is here. Lunsford a little under the weather today, so we're sending him our best. I know he's laid up watching the show. Lunsford, get better soon, man. See you back here on Tuesday for Lunsford. Tuesday for Brown, too. And EG sitting in his seat there.
I am.
Tomorrow, it'll be an interesting show. We're going to need all the help of everyone in the chat room. Because I think everyone checking in tomorrow is just Tyler, Forrester, me, and Little T.
That's a good group.
It's a great group, but I'm not even sure we have enough hands to make it all the technology work.
Wait, so who all? You, Little T, Forrester,
and Tyler.
Tyler, that's it?
That's it.
Small group.
So we're going to see if we can get Apollo 13 home tomorrow, but it should be fun. One thing I have Taylor working on, her 5 favorite Christmas gifts as a kid.
That's a good one.
So she's going to do a list of, now she's so young, they're not going to be like old toys. My 5 will be like things that, probably caused cancer back in the day or something.
Oh
Lawn darts.
Yeah. Sticks.
The wheel.
Yeah. What was yours?
My favorite
No,
child.
no.
I was going to say the wheel.
The wheel for me? Yeah. Thank you. Well
You're
played.
welcome.
I knew it was a good line.
Nice shot right there.
Our friends at Wayne's bring you part of the show today.
That way he used to get toothpaste in his stocking.
Oh, we still do get toothpaste in our
We
stocking.
get practical gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do too, actually.
Yeah, the stocking is
I think
sort
we
of
talked about that on Mystery Fifth Hour.
Mystery Fifth Hour, which is out. So go do that. 866-WAYNES-1. 866-WAYNES-1 helps you with our friends at Wayne's this holiday season. You can jump in there and keep the rodents outside during the cold weather. And as we celebrate 50 years of Wayne's, you can get $50 off the reoccurring services. The phone number is 866-WAYNES-1, 866-WAYNES-1, or go to callwaynes.com. Don't let the mice and rats in this holiday season. A pest-free holiday with our friends at Wayne's. And we've been telling you all along about our friends at Coke trying to feed the needy this holiday season. And they're doing that with the folks at Piggly Wiggly. It's real easy to do. When you go to your local pig and buy anything, you go to the register, you can just make a donation. $1, $5, $10. Be like a grandma and just pull out money from everywhere in that purse and throw it down on the counter there for our friends at Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola. It's going to provide a prepackaged holiday meal through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. Visit thepigbham.com or mypigglywiggly.com for a location nearest you. Before we get to trash, Emily Grace McWhorter, who spent a lot of time in the stadiums. I think you've gone to 7 Alabama games and 6 Auburn games to date.
Yep.
She'll be on the trip with us out to Pasadena. Looking forward to that. Seeing Auburn have the success, Alabama, all the Alabama fans are used to being 1 or 2 in recruiting. To see Hugh Freeze get to number 7 in the recruiting rankings yesterday. You've been in that building a lot this year. They've been talking a lot about recruiting. Just give me a thought.
They have, and I think in year 1 for Hugh Freeze to be able to do that, that's what they needed. And they had a very successful season. No, did they get to the point they wanted to? Absolutely not. But they played Georgia close. Obviously, the Iron Bowl, we all remember it, and they're just beginning. Now that he's going to have his own recruits in there, I think Auburn's going to be a problem in the next couple of years.
Oh, yeah. I said that when they hired Hugh Freeze. Big fan. Obviously, you see the momentum right now. They were so close to having an incredible season just based on wins and losses if they would have shown up for New Mexico State, and then obviously if they could have closed the deal against Alabama.
Yesterday, we're blessed to have a lot of friends who swing by during the holiday season. And year-round, really. It's been one of my favorite parts of this job is having folks drop by. One guy was asking Emily Grace about how new she is to the business yesterday. And she will forever be able to say that her first ever professional game that she covered was which game?
Alabama, Texas.
Alabama, Texas was her first professional game that she'll ever. For me, it was Auburn, Kentucky at Jordan-Hare Stadium. It was my first game. So
you covered Georgia Southern games.
I did. I guess out of college, my first professional job outside of ESPN Plus at
not as a college student.
Right.
And already you've done a Auburn basketball game in a much talked about broadcast.
Yes, you guys loved it.
Yeah. And now you're getting to go out to the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
Pretty good year one.
Oh my goodness. I started on a Tuesday and I moved here on a Sunday. And the first game was that Saturday. And nothing was unpacked in my apartment. Absolutely nothing. I barely had anything. And all of a sudden, it was like time to go to Tuscaloosa and cover Texas-Bama.
Yep. And
I was out of Guyman, Oklahoma, my first radio gig, and then Radio Disney. She's straight to Texas, Alabama. Well-deserved, though.
And a trip to the Rose Bowl. All right, 4 downs. Rockstar has them on Thursday. EG is going to roll in as well. Brought to you by our friends at Slice.
4 great locations. Don't forget about the carry-out special. If you got a lot of family coming in and you don't want to get a table for $50, you can get the carry-out special 7 days a week, $75. You get 2 of the specialty pizzas. You get a half pan of the salad, 12 of the fire-baked wings. You're going to love it. 4 locations for you. The original in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, coming soon to Homewood. Local pizza, local ingredients. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
Quick timeout, Rockstar. So, EG, did some of your screenshots make it on creepy bro Bible type websites?
I'm going to be honest, Zach, I don't know what that is. Can you explain further?
Zach, if you can, go search and send us later on.
I don't know if I want to see that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think what he's talking about, occasionally some of those websites will rank like the 25 hottest sideline reporters, that kind of thing.
Well,
is that what it was, Zach?
I guess that's an honor.
Yeah, would you rather be 25 or not in it?
I
think you'd rather be 25.
I guess.
You'd want to be.
He's not going to do that for us. Okay, Zach.
Okay, well, he may be at work.
He may be. Doesn't want that someone looking over his shoulder.
But you get some websites give you like the top 100 females in sports. Right?
I guess I need to Google myself.
Okay. I mean, I would imagine. I would imagine a lot of people are doing that already
I
right
think
now.
they are.
Hey, so we used to do a thing called the chick bracket way back in the day. So it was a correlation with the March Madness, and you'd have all these girls from entertainment, and we had like a play-in bracket. And Dunaway would work with these 2 girls, and would you not see them at work just refreshing and voting for themselves nonstop?
No.
One of them I did. I did not see the other one.
I heard they were both doing it.
We talking about the 42 people? Yeah. But I didn't work their normal schedule, but I was trying to help the team win. I was voting for them.
Team player.
But then I worked with somebody at 13 that was in it too. Liz Arts. Wasn't she in the bracket one year?
Yeah. She made a little run.
Yeah, she made a little run.
A little run there.
All right, let's do first down.
First down.
What is something you cannot believe modern technology has not fixed yet?
So I just told these 2 in break. I know I'm technically challenged, but it's like technology throws an FU at me.
Yeah.
I mean, you just saw my phone had no bars.
None.
Hers had 4 bars.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's the cell phone. I don't understand where we are. Cell phones have been out long enough. We really shouldn't be anywhere where you don't have cell service, especially if you're in a city.
No, yes, I totally agree with that. Because I've been in places where I really need my phone and it just is obsolete completely. But people around me are using their phone.
It makes no sense.
What's your answer to this?
I would say I think we should be at the point where we can share battery. Like if I'm on 2%, I should be able to click my phone to yours, and you should give me like 5%.
Yeah, like I'm.
That's superhero stuff there.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
I feel like it
watching
would.
Oppa's Christmas Party, it was actually a pretty good idea. You remember what their invention was? Olivia Munn came up with?
No, it's been.
So it was really your cell phone. You would never lose your battery because you would feed off of interior lights. Just any power source.
Good idea.
Your battery would actually soak that up. So I'm a little surprised that we're living a day where
Wait.
batteries can still go.
Ashley is saying, "Oh, Android already lets you do that."
Oh, wow.
Dang.
Well, you Android people really believe in your
guys
product.
Just love it.
If we could somehow come up with the group message being universal, I would go back to Android.
Ashley, great female listener. Y'all can't share battery? I can do that.
Oh, wow.
That's the
Humbling.
Android. That's the Android looking down. You probably were just thinking of that on your head, and it's already a technology out there.
Dang.
Yeah.
Maybe I switched to Android. I don't think so, but I'm really happy that you guys love it so much.
For me, I don't understand why we still have traffic lights.
That was going to be my answer.
That are timed, and they're not all sensor related on what the traffic is.
Well, there's a light by my house that I think they fixed several times that I have to go through, and it is to get on a major highway, but it's red for, I think I counted 7 minutes, and then they go green for 5 seconds.
Oh my goodness.
5 seconds.
But if you miss one of the lights, you're on that cycle of you're done.
So I have to do, I've been doing a UE. I just pull under the right, get back on the other side, because it is literally a 5 to 7 minute wait for 3 to 5 seconds where 2 cars can get past. And there's that one person that you can't tell, are they going straight or are they turning left because they don't have their blinker on. It's very upsetting to me, so I would say traffic lights.
Yeah, and
Wait,
then they're
can I
looking
give you
at
another one too?
Okay, go
No,
ahead.
Go
only
ahead,
one.
don't I?
No, double up, yeah.
Okay, I want to double up. So I have a knack for losing credit cards / debit cards. I think there should be a way that you can like connect your card to the app and be able to track it. I don't understand why we can't do that yet.
I mean, you chip everything else.
Yeah, like why?
So you're saying it would help the police, like the person who has my credit card?
No, like for me personally, like if I left it in my car or if
You know, the
So you
funny
can
thing
find
is,
it under your
Yes,
seat.
most
Okay.
people that lose their debit or credit cards leave it at a bar. You're not a bar person.
No.
So the funny thing is you lose your credit card just randomly.
Oh, I remember one time I found it in my shoe. Like how it got there, I don't know.
It happens.
See, if you are a
You
bar,
must be beating that thing up.
yeah. If you are a bar person, how it got in your shoe is not a crazy
Right,
question.
but
For you, it is a
it
crazy
is.
question. Yeah.
Second down.
What is a movie that is only famous because of a sex scene?
So does the name Joe Esterhaus mean anything to you? He's a writer producer, but he was the guy that wrote Basic Instinct
That's the one I was going
and
to go with.
Showgirls. He did both of those, and I think both are known for Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct when she is getting interviewed when she
Crosses her legs.
and then opens her legs. And then in Showgirls when the girl's getting thrown around the pool.
Elizabeth Berkley.
Yeah, Elizabeth Berkley.
By the way, Elizabeth Berkley, I saw an interview with her that came on my
TikTok
the other day where she was talking. It was a Howard Stern interview. And she was like, they asked, did you know when you were reading the script or filming the movie that it was going to be that bad? And she was like, no, it looked really good on the script and we all felt really good about it as we were filming it. But then we all saw it the night before it was released and we knew. And we knew that.
And we knew what a shitty movie it was going to be. Deliverance would be one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Deliverance is good. Is not good, but it is intriguing. It is what it's known for.
Inspirational.
Troy says Wild Things. Is that the one with the girl from Party of Five?
Yeah.
that kisses and makes out.
Denise Richards in the pool.
Yeah.
And Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Do you have a memory of scenes like guys do?
No, can't say that I do.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Top
you didn't go The Notebook.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really graphic. The clothes stay on. You never see a boob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of movies. I'm kind of like Taylor in that regard.
Yeah. I would tell you, Maggie
Pulp Fiction's rough.
Maggie was watching some British comedy the other day, and she was like, I'm going to try to watch this. And she watched the first episode, and I was upstairs watching the game, and she knows how to get me to watch something, right? So I walked downstairs.
What did she just say? Everybody's watching this?
No, she goes, I walked back down and said, how was it? And she goes, I've already watched 4 episodes. They're very short. It's only 8. I'll probably binge it all tonight. And I said, do you think I would like it? And she's like, oh, there's a boob in the first scene. And I was like, okay, I'm in.
Wow.
She says,
You can't see that anywhere.
yeah.
So
Anywhere. They're
embarrassing.
so hard to
There's a
find.
boob in the first scene. So she knew I'd like it.
Yeah, his name's Richard. But
Third down.
Road trip, 50 Shades, Phoebe Cates getting out of the pool, Monsters Ball, I think what we're learning is they'll throw a sex scene in to get you to watch.
It wasn't a sex scene, but I remember how highly promoted it was for the movie Swordfish with John Travolta and Hugh Jackman, that in this, for the first time ever, Halle Berry's going to be topless.
Yeah.
And it was a quick, like she was reading a book and she was sunbathing and she pulls it down like, oh, what are you talking about? And that is the scene.
Yeah, it
and
was
that
so
was
dumb.
so promoted.
Yeah.
That just
I won't
Halle
make
Berry
the comment
topless.
because EG is on set. Be a little respectful during the holidays with her here.
Aw,
But I did have a
thank you,
comment
Lane.
on that scene, but we'll save it.
Okay.
Third down.
What is the oddest Christmas present you ever received? Now, what made me think of this is in about 7th or 8th grade, at a thrift store, as a joke, I found a Power Rangers t-shirt, and I wore it to school as a joke. It spread through my family, and my aunt from Jacksonville, Florida, mailed us presents, and she gave me a white Power Ranger plush toy. I was in 8th grade. What do you do with that?
Oh, yeah, I guess you slept with it, right?
Well, I had to. I didn't know. I still sleep with it, but I got a very odd Christmas gift. I had to find somebody to give that to.
Some great ones are coming in. Pritch Law, a damn Nerf volleyball. Ross, a toilet plunger. Tyler, a race car shaped soap.
So we've got a friend, and I'll call him sweet. I'm very secure. He's just a sweet, sweet guy, but he got me a Torrey Holt fathead. And I told him this ain't gonna work. It's not going up in my house.
You wanted Isaac Bruce,
so you can you can send this back whenever you want. And he also got Brown a toaster that makes Miami Dolphin toast.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but it's kind of different or strange,
Yeah,
right?
I know for sure.
Because I don't know if Brown ever made toast with it.
I never get a lot of gifts from that guy.
He doesn't like you.
Doesn't surprise me. Because the first time he gave me a gift in that rotation, I think it was a medium he got me, which is a blessing, but I don't know if I've ever worn a medium, ever. But it was like an adult medium.
Was it a Buck shirt?
It was either a Bucks or the Tampa Bay Rays shirt, yep. And it was a medium, and I was like, I guess thank you that you think I can wear a medium, but whew.
Strangest thing you got.
Well, EG's got something in the office over
I
there
do.
that's still
it's in
unopened.
my car now. I can bring it out for the next segment. So on Mondays, I go to the poker club, Primetime Poker. And
Did you get invited to their Christmas party?
I was told not to come because I gave an inappropriate gift the first year.
were you actually told not to come?
I was told not to come.
Wait, what did you give?
Well, when you say dirty Santa, Lunsford's not here to defend himself, and number 12 can't talk.
There are different levels of dirty Santa. Normally, it's a weird gift. Now, I've been at the dirty Santa party. This is when I was a freshman in college, where somebody shot and killed a squirrel and wrapped it in a box. Yeah. And dude pulled it out. Everybody was drunk, threw it across. It hit a dude in the head.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Somebody shit in a box and gave that away.
Okay, so that was going down that line of thinking that it's a bunch of guys. There was no girl there yet, and it was dirty Santa. And I was like, well,
I think we're a little old for that dirty Santa angle, aren't we?
Yeah, when you get eliminated, you pick a gift.
Yeah.
Right?
You can steal somebody's gift.
And you can steal somebody's gift. So I was going to be the joke gift, right? And if you picked it at the end, it would be traded all the way down. And I was buying it last minute. So I happened to, I think I was buying last minute my tacky sweater. So I was in the mall, and there was nothing in the mall, but Spencer's was still open. So I went to Spencer's, and if you've ever been to the poker club, there's a few people there that like Star Wars. So I was going to get one of those glow-in-the-dark Star Wars posters that Spencer's are famous for. They didn't have any good posters, but there was an edible pair of guy thongs for men.
What flavor?
Strawberry. That also came with a penis sock with the nose of Rudolph that lights up.
Boy, you never can make anything awkward.
I can't hear.
You've been banned from poker club?
Your mic like cut out. What kind of sock?
It was a penis sock.
Okay.
That slipped over the penis.
Okay.
And the nose lit up.
So when you tried it on, what does it do?
I didn't try it on.
It's too big.
Wasn't big enough, LT. No, I didn't try it on, but somebody won it, and it got passed around a little bit.
I love that EG's family is like crowded around their YouTube TV right now. They're like, our daughter's about to go live.
And so I ended up, that night.
You knew this segment was coming, though.
That night, every gift was like, a bottle of Buffalo Trace, a bottle of Knob Creek.
Normal presents.
It was all of that, and then I was the only.
Kevin says Cynthia would love a word with Dunaway. HR compliance.
I
benefits.
just heard that it was wrapped in a trash bag too. It wasn't even.
It was. I don't know if it was a trash bag.
Probably the Spencer bag.
Yeah, it was the Spencer bag.
We did one a couple of years ago, and like they were fun gifts. Like I gave a Juice WRLD blanket. One of our friends, Nurse Sally, brought a goldfish, which I thought was clever.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, one of them was
still alive, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
some great
impressive.
socks at that year. One year I was there. Some.
You're all about the socks today.
What was it?
Were they?
really is.
Oh, they were Stance socks.
They were
Stance.
Stance Tupac socks.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys know how I feel about that.
Oh, I know.
People were fighting over those socks.
Well, let me just share with you guys what I received. So, I brought a massage gun. The limit is $50, and so I bring a massage gun. I'm very happy with myself. This is also my first year in the Primetime Poker Club. Like, I want to make a splash. And
So you got a massage gun, like massages your back?
Yeah.
Okay.
You tune into a game, and you'll see the trainers.
So you got one of those legit.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Thank you. I was proud of myself. Gift giving is fun for me. And so I was 9th. So I got out pretty early, I would say. And I was exhausted. So I left and I opened a $50 Amazon gift card and a deck of cards. And I was like, this is awesome. But I'm in a position where I can't really steal anything. So long story short, I ended up with a bug assault. You guys know what that is? Where you shoot.
Our friend Steve Powers did. He saw it yesterday. He was excited about it.
He was like, that's the best gift ever. And a whitetail, I can't remember, cutlery knife.
Yeah. To gut your deer with.
Exactly. I do a lot of deer hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, just keep it in your car.
Yeah.
Never
no,
know.
I mean,
you may need to gut a guy one day.
I may need to, but the gun, I do have a fear of roaches. We were talking about this yesterday, but I don't think it kills roaches.
Nothing kills roaches.
No, so yeah, I got to back this. We're getting off track here, sorry, but yesterday we were debating this and we're giving E.g. roach scenarios. The question was asked, would you rather be in a ditch that you can't get out of with 50 black mambas or 500 roaches?
Oh, 500 roaches.
She wants the mambas.
No.
Anything.
No,
she's anti-roach.
I'm anti-roach. And
Okay, how about sleeping bag full of roaches or spiders?
Spiders. Easily.
It's crazy.
Easily. They said great white shark or...
Oh, the thing is, roaches are disgusting, and you guys are right. I mean, not even a nuclear war can kill them, but they're not going to bite you.
Yeah.
Like spiders can bite. Snake will kill you.
I had unintentional exposure therapy to spiders, and so they don't freak me out anymore. Not formal, but I had a spider incident, and now I'm fine. But roaches...
Now you've got a spider tattoo?
Yeah. But roaches are literally like, I started sweating, and then there's a dead roach in there.
What about the big ones that fly? Those are the fun ones.
No, I will say I would rather, if I'm at my house hosting, I would rather a snake come slithering through my living room than a one of those dirty ass roaches.
Thank you.
Because that's when people are like, you're
disgusting.
Yep.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
4th down.
You get $1 for every time someone does a specific illegal activity. What do you choose?
This happens all the time, and I think I'm the only person that's ever been ticketed for it. Illegally changing lanes.
Ooh.
Like, I see it 20, 30 times a day on 280.
That's
People
right.
don't use their blinkers. They're just flying over, back and forth. But I think I can make an easy $1,000 a month on $1 bills just on illegally changing lanes.
Mine is speeding. How many people go the speed limit anywhere? 40 miles an hour, even if you're going 42.
No, that's almost like people read that as the minimum speed.
Yeah, that's
That's how I am.
Ryan Brown.
What about you?
Wait, is this a crime that they get caught for, or just...
No.
Any illegal crime.
Drug trafficking. Just gonna go straight to it. I think I'd make a lot of money on that one.
Do you know a lot of traffickers, though? Like, I see people on 280. I know they're breaking laws. Like, I don't know how many people are, like, literally have, like, drugs on person.
I mean, is it like worldwide?
Let's keep it to national. Let's go to the USA.
Okay, well then...
Oh, let's take Alabama, the state of Alabama.
State of Alabama. Okay, then I'm gonna redact drug trafficking. I would do fraud. Sometimes you don't know you're committing it.
You're going serious crimes here.
Yeah, I think the traffic violation, you get thousands of dollars every hour that it's happening.
That's true.
Thousands of dollars. That is 4 Downs today, brought to you by our friends at Slice. Also, LT, by our wonderful folks right there at Simpio, speaking of HR.
Yeah, do you ever do makeup in the car? Because I see people.
Yes. Oh, God, y'all.
Of the. So, look, I'll be driving, somebody be doing makeup. I get that. But watching somebody try to put makeup on while they're driving 280, I see it all the time.
Okay, can I tell you guys a story?
So do you do
this?
it? Can you tell it after the break? We got another
Yes, I
segment in
can.
Dan Orlovsky at the top of the hour.
Oh, Dunaway, thank you for
okay.
keeping me on track.
That's okay.
Simpio, again, the 4 pillars in every single office. Our friends at Simpio, they're going to handle those things. HR compliance, payroll, benefits. When your company joins Simpio, you gain access to health care and employer benefits at only prices large organizations get. You can join Simpio any time of year, no annual contract. With that being said, they've got a 99% retention rate. Call the guys at Simpio, 205-635-7467 or Simpio.com.
And our friends at Alabama Power. The power's in your hand when it comes to making payment setups, usage alerts, and anything else like finding out when your power is going to be restored during storms. It's all right there with the Alabama Power app. Download it at the Apple Store or the Android store for you right now. Redesigned. It's Alabama Power's new app, alabamapower.com/mobile app, alabamapower.com/mobile app.
All the SEC with our all-SEC analyst, Roman Harper. Thursdays at 9:25.
This hour brought to you by Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear, the perfect place for all your holiday shopping. We are easy to find just off of I-65, exit 304 in Coleman. Just look for the big red building.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Ryan Brown here for the Next Round with a question for you. Are you on the Bandwagon yet? Bandwagon wants to invite you to one of their 3 retail locations in Birmingham for all your holiday shopping. Bandwagon has the top brands in sporting goods, athleisure, and lifestyle apparel. You can check your entire family off the list at Bandwagon with brands like Task, Bird Dog, and Varley, plus the best in sports equipment. Visit the Bandwagon locations in Cahaba Heights, Homewood, and Trussville, or online, bandwagonsports.com. Next Round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. It's our friends at Hydra Live. Mention Next Round at checkout. Save 20% off any service. Hydra Live's got 3 locations, Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone.
Give the gift of Daniel Moore art this holiday season with the 2024 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar. This year's calendar features collectors' most beloved Daniel Moore Alabama football moments, from the classic goal line stand to the Saban era 2nd and 26. Special offer for listeners only. Buy 2 calendars and get 1 free with code HOLIDAY at danielmoreart.com or by calling 1-800-735-2787.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, best Coke ever?
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies, get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store, that's nextround.store.
Dan Orlovsky coming up after 11 o'clock today. LT's got trash a little bit later on, unless EG's reading it. I don't know who's reading. You
yeah, we'll let EG read it.
Okay, EG will be reading trash coming up a little bit later on. We'll be reacting to that. Part of the show today is being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, make the phone call that I made over 2 decades ago, 205-969-8100. The gift of sight this holiday season. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jim Michelson, the best in the business. I've got 2015 vision better than 2020 thanks to Michelson Laser Vision. They truly changed my life. Could possibly do the same for you. Call 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. You can also go online for more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
And again, by our friends at Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola, running out of time to help families this holiday season. We want you to swing by the Pig. Right now with your donation. It can be $1, $5, $10, whatever you want to donate. But Piggly Wiggly and Coca-Cola are providing prepackaged holiday meals through the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama. That's the Community Food Bank of Central Alabama, who does a wonderful job. Just visit thepigbham.com, thepigbham.com, or mypigglywiggly.com for locations nearest you. Do you guys ever look at home listings just for fun? Like my wife gets a kick out of it. Do you ever just check out home listings?
Mm-mm.
I've got before you show it for us, sir, I've got a $700,000 listing, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, and a pool. But it's getting 0 offers.
4 bedrooms and only 2 baths?
4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1 pool. It happens to be in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Take a look at where it's located. This is the house. You can tell it's it doesn't look like a $700,000 house. But if you'll notice, your front lawn leads right into Lambeau Field.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you just think about what you could get on Verbo with that thing.
Yep. And it looks like probably that's what it's been used for over the years. It's a big party house.
But I guess Lambeau, you only get 8 or 9 dates a year, right? I'm talking about excluding preseason because they don't have concerts at Lambeau, do they?
I don't know how they could do concerts or something like that in that weather.
Because, outside of SoFi, they have got these little condos, and they're $2 million for a condo. But I started thinking there's something going on at SoFi every night.
Yeah.
So you legitimately could rent that thing out.
And make all your money back.
Yeah, probably make everything back.
But for a big Packer fan, it's a fixer-upper, much like your franchise right now. But you can go ahead and pick that up right now on Zillow.
Oh, by the way, you got to live in Green Bay, though.
$699,000. The players used to actually live in Green Bay and walk to their games.
I remember riding bikes.
Riding bikes
I've
and
heard
stuff.
about that.
All right, you had a story you were going to say
I
before
did.
the top of the hour.
Don't worry. I'll make it very quick, very timely. So when I was in high school, and it goes back to putting makeup on and driving. So I was on my way to hang out with this boy. It was not my current boyfriend. And first of all, the big red flag is he should have come and picked me up, but that didn't happen. And so I was so excited. And my dad, I thought he was out of town. And so I'm driving down the road and I'm putting on mascara. So I've got my hand on the wheel and I'm in the rear view mirror, doing this. And my dad calls me. It's answer the phone. I'm like, hey. He's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm on my way to hang out with so-and-so. And he's like, okay, well, you have fun. Don't worry about, getting back tonight, something along those lines. And I'm like, thank you so much, Dad. You're just awesome. Turns out he had passed me while I was putting mascara on and driving, saw me, and I got my car taken away for so long because of it. And now it's one of the running jokes. And when he asked me what I was doing when I came home, I told him I was only putting mascara on one eyelash, not all of them.
Well, I give you
Just
credit
one.
for answering the phone. Late would have sent me straight to voicemail. So at least you answered
I
the
was
phone.
so excited. I thought he was out of town. Never thought he'd pass me at the exact moment I'm putting mascara on. Not all my eyelashes, just one.
So apparently the date didn't go well, though.
No. He
So
was
you were lying, right? It wasn't just one eyelash. You lied.
Yeah,
you lied to your dad too.
right, but not. I wouldn't say lying.
That's what we call a white lie.
Yeah. So I was just putting on one eyelash. Obviously, you can't put mascara on one eyelash.
Yeah.
So.
Never had you for a liar.
Oh, Dunaway. You just wait. You'll see it.
Mark's so wonderful. Mark gave me this hat, though. People were complimenting the hat. Brown's got one. You got one like it. So EG's dad gave the hat. It's the first time I wore it today. So
we finally got socks up here.
Yeah,
some socks up here.
It's coming
from Mark.
together.
It is.
Yeah. Glad to have you with the family here. She's going to pop back in for trash coming up a little bit later on. Things you need to know before we get to the top of the hour here. Bama loses in basketball. They've lost 3 straight. They're home to Eastern Kentucky coming up this weekend. So both for Auburn and Alabama. tough parts of their out-of-conference schedules over. They're getting now on the path to get a couple other easy wins over the holidays, and then it's time for conference play coming up. Michigan did get a national notice of allegation from the NCAA, a level 1 violation for Jim Harbaugh, all the way back to the recruiting incident during the pandemic. That's still ongoing. Michigan's got 90 days to respond. It will not impact the national semifinal game out in Pasadena. We'll be leaving for next year. And also the recruiting day yesterday, big day for Auburn. They ended up finishing 7th in the rankings behind Georgia 1, Alabama 2. So the Tide in the playoffs and number 2 right behind Georgia. Miami is 3, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, and then you get Auburn, Oklahoma, Florida State, and Notre Dame rounding out the top 10. That gets you to the top of the hour. We'll talk NFL and the big one tonight with LT's Rams. Dan Orlovsky's coming up. Show being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City. Had a chance to see Greg this week. He wants to remind you that when the holidays are over with and you start thinking about your home in 2024, think about getting that roof inspected. When's the last time you had the roof inspected? Greg will do it for absolutely no cost. 205-542-3531. 542-3531 for the free no-cost roof inspection. Also, you can look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Insurance companies trust him. Some insurance companies just look at his picture and say that he sends about damage or something. They're like, it's Greg Nelson. He's so trustworthy. He and his wife run a great company. Here's a full payment from the insurance company. Doesn't happen all the time, but it happens a lot of the times because they trust Greg. You should too. 205-542-3531 and Storm Restoration Roofing.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? It's too bad you can't taste it with your ears because this Coke Zero Sugar is really amazing. You'll have to take a taste for yourself. Coke Zero Sugar, best Coke ever? There are so many things I love about Walk-Ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-Ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with Walk-Ons.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Tom Luganville here for Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear. For great holiday shopping for the whole family, this place is a must. Jack's carries all the name brands in boots, hats, and apparel, including the Kimes Ranch brand, as seen on Yellowstone. You might not look like Kevin Costner, but you can dress like him. Jack's also has the only Ariat shop within a shop in the state of Alabama. Come see us every Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Just look for the big red building off I-65, exit 304 in Coleman.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone, the New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino's 7 days of giveaways is going on now. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. We're giving away $125,000 in free play and cash. That's right, Birmingham Racecourse Casino is giving away $125,000 in free play and cash. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. There's always more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, final hour of the show today. Dan Orlovsky will join us momentarily. This hour always brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken, Champy's world-famous fried chicken. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling, the crew, brought lunch this week. We had such a great time talking to him. Always great. He was with us before day one when we started this project. He signed up immediately when we left our old job and said, hey, man, I've never advertised with you guys before, but I love your show. I don't even know what you're going to be doing next, but I want to be a part of it, and it just meant the world to us, and we appreciate Sterling and everybody down there. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Stop by and see them over the holidays and tell them thanks for sponsoring us right here on the show this hour every day. And also by our friends at Coca-Cola. Coke Zero, is it the best Coke ever? You'll have to taste it for yourself. Our friends with Coca-Cola, great taste you get with Coke Zero. And it really is refreshing. So bold in flavor that we asked the question, Coke Zero Sugar, is it the best Coke ever? With our friends at Coca-Cola. And don't forget to go by Piggly Wiggly and help them feed the hungry this holiday season. All right, LT, one of the big stories away from National Signing Days and away from the playoffs is the team that was left out of the playoffs. We'll talk NFL with Orlovsky in a second, but Forrester has pulled up some stuff from the Action Network and such, talking about Florida State. They are starting the process of leaving the Atlantic Coast Conference. They're going to meet tomorrow and start a legal process. The Board of Trustees in the emergency meeting will decide that tomorrow, and they will start the process of leaving the ACC. And he says it will have an Oppenheimer-like ripple effect through college football's landscape. Sources telling the Action Network headquarters, one of the biggest TV brands is Florida State. It could land in the Big Ten or the SEC, and if those aren't options, the Big 12 would gladly take Florida State as well. I don't know if the Big 12 is going to help you at all.
Well, I don't think the Big 12 would help you at all, and I just got to ask you the question. I mean, Florida State is a brand. There is no doubt about it. Bobby Bowden made them one of the household names for a long time in college football, but this is their first elite year in a decade, or close to a decade, since the first college football playoff that we had. Are they that big of a brand right now? Do they draw that much in TV? And if so, why would the SEC or the Big Ten not initially gone after Florida State?
From Brett McMurphy, here are the most watched games, Nielsen-rated games in college football this year. Alabama was the most watched team in college football this year, averaging 7.12 million viewers a game. Michigan was second. Ohio State was third. All that over 7 million viewers a game. That includes the Middle Tennessees and the Georgias averaged out. So they're 1, 2, 3, the biggest TV brands in the business. Colorado was fourth. Georgia fifth. Tennessee sixth. Oregon 7. Penn State, Texas, and Florida State. Now, Colorado dipped as the season went on. It's the Deion effect. Florida State's the only non-SEC Big Ten team there in the top 10. We'll discuss that more coming up in a little bit. But right now, let's talk to our buddy Dan Orlovsky, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Listen, I'm going to let LT ask the first question because it's his Rams. But I will set you up, Dan, with LT asking the question. It feels like a playoff game tonight, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does feel like a playoff game. This Rams offense has started to pop a little bit. If I asked you this, because to me, Buffalo is such a dangerous team. I know the AFC doesn't want Buffalo to get into this postseason. To me, and look, in San Francisco, it's theirs to lose. But I would assume the NFC does not want Matt Stafford, with his experience, to get into this postseason the way they're playing right now.
Absolutely. Tonight it is a playoff game for the Rams. And I think there's two quarterbacks, one in each conference, that to their heart, to their core, neither conference playoff teams want to get in. Buffalo with Josh Allen and the Rams with Matthew Stafford. I feel like I've said this multiple times this year, and it continues to be true. There's not a quarterback that is throwing the football better than Matthew Stafford. And it's really fascinating to watch how this is a different offense than it was the year they won the Super Bowl and how they've gone about being different. And if you watch how this team is so balanced and complete right now, it's a dangerous football team. I think the really fascinating thing is going to be this. If I'm right, if San Francisco wins their next 2 games, I believe they lock up the number 1 seed. Week 18, the Rams and the 49ers play each other. If the 49ers have the 1 seed locked up, how do they treat that game if it's win and get in for the Rams? Do they try and play and knock them out? Or do they like, hey, you know what, we're going to rest? I think they would do the former. They would try and keep that team out because they know how good Stafford can be.
You mentioned Buffalo. I think I'm right about this. If the playoffs started today, one of the hottest teams in the league would not be in the playoffs. Am I right about that? Is that where Buffalo sits?
Correct.
And what is what is their
sit
chances?
As the 8 right now.
What are their chances of working into the playoffs?
I would be surprised if they don't get in. With 3 weeks left, how the schedule plays out, they have this week the Chargers and next week the New England Patriots. It's the NFL. You never know. You would think the way that they're playing, they should win those 2 games. And then if Miami loses one of their next 2, Miami's next 3 games are brutal. They play, obviously, the Cowboys at home this weekend, then they go on the road to play the Baltimore Ravens. If they lose one of their next 2 and Buffalo wins their next 2, week 18, which would be in Miami, Buffalo in Miami becomes for the AFC East division title. And I think Buffalo would be favored to win that game. So that's how I think the likeliest way that they get in. Now, could they get in as a wild card if some teams lose, all that stuff? Sure. But I think if you were going to ask me, what do I think is the likeliest way they get in? It's to win the AFC East.
Hey, back to tonight's game. Where are you on the Saints? Because, look, I don't want to jinx this thing. I think the Saints are going to play with them tonight because it is a playoff game of sorts. The number's only 3.5 right now in Las Vegas. But this Saints team sitting at 7-7, I only deem one of their wins a quality win, and that was on the road against Indianapolis. Yeah. As good as you think Indianapolis might be.
Yeah, and Indy's a good football team. Here's where the Saints are. Last week was like one of the first weeks, maybe not, I don't want to say the only one, but first in a while that I remember Derek played proactive. He's been so reactive with his eyes this year, and it's the interior of their offensive line is not good. That's been a struggle all year. They haven't thrown the ball downfield much. So if we're just talking matchup tonight, we're going, okay, well, Aaron Donald and the interior of that defensive line versus the interior of the Saints offensive line. Well, you feel good if you're the Rams. And then the Rams are a defense that doesn't want the ball to go over their heads. They want you to throw the ball short. They force you to try to dink and dunk your way down the field. And that bodes well for the Rams again, because that's kind of the style that Derek's wanted to play. So a good football team. I think tonight, when it comes to the Rams having the ball, Kyron Williams leads the NFL in yards per game. Puka and Cooper, when it comes to their blocking versus the secondary of New Orleans, is advantage. Rams, I think the Rams win tonight. I do.
And not given away by his wedding band color today, but it did seem like you were tipping your hand with your ring that you were picking Rams tonight. Is that you're sort of saying?
Yeah, I know I wore the wedding band because of the game tonight, for sure.
Yeah. Rams is the pick. The wedding band hand gear. Corso puts headgear on. He puts the wedding band on.
Yeah, I put wedding gear.
We're going to try to make it a segment without talking about the Cowboys, because I know you talk about the Cowboys all the time.
Good luck.
Yeah.
My Buccaneers, I'm a Buccaneer fan. I try not to talk about them, but they are in first place. I felt like it was my birthday. I was watching the Buccaneers play in Green Bay, and Baker Mayfield played like a superstar. Did you know Baker still had that type of game in him?
I've always been Team Baker. I've probably been a little bit too effusive about Baker. I guess you could say that I do that with a lot of quarterbacks, but just because I feel like everybody thinks every quarterback sucks except for Patrick. So I've always believed that Baker was a good player, could play really good in good situations like he did. I think the truth is this. The last 2 seasons that we have seen Baker Mayfield as the starter and healthy, he's going to throw for about 7,500 yards and 55 touchdowns with 18 picks. The 2020 year, which is when they went to the playoffs, and then this year, 2021, he hurts his shoulder early on, probably doesn't play that well, but injury. And then last year, Carolina and the Rams fluctuates at places. Who is he? Is the starter back? Last 2 times he's been healthy and been the starter with good people around him. He's been a good player to a really good player. And so I'm not surprised, but it's awesome to see.
Dan, for weeks, for a long time, I've said San Francisco best team, Baltimore second best team. But now Baltimore players are upset because they're going on the road to San Francisco and they're 5.5-point underdogs, and they feel like they're being disrespected. I think Baltimore's really good, but is it not clear-cut right now San Francisco is by far the best team in the NFL?
Yes. It is. San Francisco, and they have been. They were the best team in the NFL last year. Their quarterback got hurt in the NFC title game. I thought San Francisco would win that game on the road. They haven't skipped a beat this year. When they're in rhythm on offense, their offense is in many ways unstoppable. Now, do I think the defense is as dominant this year as it was last year? I do not. I think you can, if you're very good at what we call a pin-pull run game, you can get after their defense just a little bit. I'm not saying it's easy, but you can have some success doing it. I think like the way to beat San Francisco, because everyone's going to, that's what the question is going to start to be asked. You're not going to stop them. You're just not. So anybody that tells you, do you match up against them? Who cares? You don't. Okay. Let me get ahead of that. You got to score. You have to have firepower to go score. I think the 2 teams in that conference that can do that are both the Rams and the Lions, specifically on the road. What I mean by that, I think Baltimore can score in bunches. Baltimore has had too many stretches of like sloppy play, a little bit sloppy play where I have a little bit reservation for them.
There are 2 teams, one in each conference, that won't go away, and they're doing it with backup quarterbacks, and I don't get it. The Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings.
Defense. And both those teams have very good defenses that have helped. I think both those, if you think about those coaches, play callers, both Kevin Stefanski and Kevin O'Connell, where do they come from scheme-wise?
Kyle Shanahan. How about that?
They come from that Shanahan tree. So, again, both defenses are playing well, but both backup quarterbacks are running offenses that have, for 40-plus years in the NFL, historically helped quarterbacks maybe perform higher than their physical talents would lend you to believe. And it's an offense that is built upon, hey, we want to commit to the run. We want to be explosive in the run. We want to have that run create easy and more opportunistic throws for quarterbacks and explosive throws for your offense. That's a huge part of that conversation.
All right. He's Dan Orlovsky with us. Dan, Merry Christmas and safe travels. I always wonder what traffic was like. I assume that's New York City you're traveling through during the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Seems to be a little congested today. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas to your entire family. We appreciate your time, man. Have a good night.
I appreciate you guys. Merry Christmas.
All right. Dan's always brought to us by our friends at MyBookie. Make an initial deposit at mybookie.ag, and they'll match that deposit up to $1,000. Play it right away and win once, and it's yours forever. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag, mybookie.ag. Lone Soldier agrees with you. 49ers, Ravens 1-2 right now. 1-2 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people didn't believe me when I said Ravens. But
who's 3 now?
Oh, that's where it gets tricky because Dallas looked so bad this past week.
Eagles have dropped. Lions have dropped.
I mean, the one team really that I would not want to play is Buffalo.
He was going to make Buffalo the favorite in Miami if they came down to that one game at the end for the AFC East title.
I don't know if I would do that.
Did you see Tua get so upset yesterday?
Well,
with the media?
Yeah, because people are talking about, so Tua had to overcome this when he played at Alabama. He's playing with great players.
Right.
And people are saying that right now. Well, you know what? Everybody said Miami can't win without Tyreek Hill. They looked great last week without Tyreek Hill.
Our friends at Champy's Chicken bring you this hour a couple of more college sound bites before we get to the trash segment right here. But Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew. It is absolutely fantastic food there. Deep Southern fried chicken, brined overnight, cooked to order. Also the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It is champy'schicken.com. Also by our friends at Redmont Vodka LT. It's the holiday season, and holidays in Redmont go together.
Yeah, it's gluten-free, 8 times distilled. You go into that holiday party, pick up a bottle of the locally owned and operated Redmont vodka. You're going to love it. Available at your local package stores, including the Beverage Place, Pink Package, ABC stores, available in 22 states. We're heading to California next week. It's available there. Ask for it by name if they don't have it. Tell them to get it. It's Redmont vodka.
A couple of sound bites here. Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, good day. Not a great day, but a good day for Ole Miss yesterday. Where were they in the recruiting rankings? They were 21st, but that put them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th in the SEC. 11th in the SEC at 21. That's how tough the SEC is. But Lane Kiffin does it with a portal, too. Here's Lane with a little jab at old Mississippi State.
You look like you've made more success each year with in-state recruiting, and this year you got early commitments, but then able to hold on to all of them today, and I think got 5 of the top 8 or 10 in-state prospects. Just what have you seen with y'all's system and recruiting in-state kids?
Well, I think, like I said, with anything, there's combinations of things that go into that. I think this was a really good year in state of players, especially defensive linemen. So I don't know, you guys would know better than me. I don't really follow it that way, but I feel like it was the best in-state class of players or high-level players that since we've been here. And certainly helps, the different direction of the two programs in state. So that always helps when one program's going one way and the other one's going the other.
That from Lane Kiffin there. And that is the way the programs are going right now. Ole Miss is on the come up and Mississippi State is not.
That's the way it's looking right now. It was an awful year for State. It was a transitional year. But what is the relationship between Jeff Lebby and Lane Kiffin?
I would imagine it's pretty good. But then he starts their really first public part of the relationship with a shot.
I don't know. You just never know behind the scenes. These guys obviously work together, and I know they respect each other as play callers.
But you're right. We've all worked together for a while. If one of us went and started another venture like this, a sort of a rival venture, we would know exactly how to get it under each other's skin. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So he probably knows how to get under Lebby's skin, and I would imagine Lebby knows how to get under Lane's skin as well. One more rock star, cut 6, Mark Stoops. All Forster told me was that this is about tight end Jordan Dingle, who went into the portal and then came back out of the portal. And Forster says Mark Stoops sometimes just says too much about the whole making of the sausage. Listen in.
You had a couple guys go into the portal and come back, especially Dingle and from the portal. How big was that for the tight end room to get him back?
Yeah, I think it was very important. Jordan's a guy that we definitely want in the program. Here's a young man that does, everything right. He's darn near perfect in his grades, and he's been just a great teammate. He loves it here. I don't think wanted to leave. I'm just going to stop there before I get myself in trouble. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to whine or cry. This is an exciting day. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of money involved.
Yeah, a lot of money involved. Went to the portal because there was a lot of money involved. Probably came out of the portal because there's a lot of money involved.
You can't blame these kids. These coaches, they're looking for the next gig. I hate the fact that there's no loyalty and guys like Aaron Murray, I think, live in Atlanta, because he's a Georgia Bulldog through and through. I just don't think you're going to have the loyalty that a lot of these guys have because they're going to be jumping around. When it's all said and done, Dylan Gabriel, when he's sitting on his couch with his grandkids, who's going to be the college team he's pulling for?
That's right. He's going to UCF, Oklahoma, or Oregon for 1 year. We know Bo's going to cheer for Auburn. but he had some great years at Oregon. Probably will cheer for both. Our friends at Johnson RV, if you want to change schools, you could do it in an RV. Move anywhere in America with our friends at Johnson RV. Sales have been fantastic at Johnston RV Center, and that means there's been a lot of trade-ins. Pre-owned inventory has never been better right now at Johnston RV. Save thousands on gently used models ranging from travel trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers, as well as the luxurious motor homes. Still get the exclusive lifetime warranty as well on the pre-owned models, 2 years old or newer. It's all right there, exit 65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online at johnstonrvcenter.com. And don't forget that lifetime warranty is important. And also at all locations, they honor military discounts as well. They respect the military. So stop by and see Johnston RV Center, or just check them out online, johnstonrvcenter.com.
The Burnout with the SEC